What up, everybody? We're to get some audio levels adjusted because this game is this can be a loud game that we're playing today. We're playing some Halo. Let me pull everything up so I can see when Peter joins. We're playing some Halo, but we're going to already go ahead and fix some audio because I'm telling you, man, the music in this game can be so loud. I'm gonna go like 50 here. We're gonna go voice chat's fine, effects volume's fine, game music volume. I'm telling you, the music can be like it just hits like chugga 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 chugga. It gets loud. So anyway, you understand. Push to talk, voice chat is on. We're gonna save that, but we're also gonna edit some controls. God bless the pumpkin patch. Hey, Crimson Knight, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing so good. I want to switch weapons by doing this. I think Peter's about to be in. I want to switch weapons. I'm gonna do the Halo 4 gameplay, but push to talk can also be this button. Just a couple things. Move forward is fine. Shift, mouse button 1. That's fine. That's fine. Where's the change weapon? Throw grenade is all fine. Change weapon. That needs to be able to be scroll wheel as well. Actually, that's fine. Let's go down. I feel like I'm more naturally go down. All right. Boom. One or more actions are not bound to a key on Halo 3. What action? Why would that be that way? That's fine. I don't think we're gonna have an issue. I don't think. Really, I won't know until we jump in. Truth be told, I won't know until we get in. Oh, I guess we're just discarding. Oh, no. It changed the... Oh, I got to fix the audio again. Oh, poop nuggets. We're going 50 on that. We're going 8. We're going 50 on this. And then we're going like 80 on this. Back. Save. Boom. Peter should be able to hear me now. Hello there, Mr. Tony.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
Good. I thought I heard an echo.
Uh-oh. Do you hear an echo from me?
No.
Okay.
You were muted at the time.
Okay. Good. I am not the problem this time. Let's go.
It was... Well, I don't hear it anymore. I'm really confused. I don't know how it was echoing. It was so when I was on my casual stream scene collection, which does not have, at least as far as I remember, which does not have stream together browser sources, that's when I was hearing an echo. When I switched over to the actual Tangled Christianity scene collection, it went away. And I don't know what to make of that. Let me try
It was
this.
never really there. You're hearing things. That's what it is.
That is possible, you know?
Yeah.
That is an option.
Well, I think I've gotten everything set up the way that I want. I was just going in and adjusting audio sounds in Halo because, I don't know, I'm actually going to turn it down a little bit more. I don't know if you know this, but Halo's music, it just is crazy loud compared to everything else. Like, when it comes in, it's like nothing can be happening. It's super quiet. You hear literal crickets. And then all of a sudden, chugga-chugga! It's so loud out of nowhere. So, yeah, making some adjustments. And also, I want to change weapon to scroll wheel, and it doesn't want to let me do that. So...
Oh, yeah, I don't...
I'll see.
I would be surprised if they let you do that.
It's dumb, because, like, why if, well, I think... If I remember right on the controller, wasn't change weapon like Y? So it's just one button. So why can't I like set it to like scroll wheel down? Like click, change, click, change.
I think that the scroll wheel is just not considered a button like other buttons. So you can probably set toggle weapon to one of your keyboard buttons, I would expect. Is there not an option for that?
Yeah, it's set to 1 right now by default. I just don't like that. So, I think I'm gonna make it mouse button 4 because I have like side buttons. That might not be
Mm-hmm.
too bad if I can just switch. It's just super not normal for me. Um, let's see where now I can't even find it. But anyway, we're here and ready for you. Oh, King Yanzala is here. That's like a blast from the
Wow.
past. Hello, King. Where have you been lately?
Hi, Crimsonite. Hi, Yenza. Do you know the
Hey,
other
Ezra, fight
Yenza
Peter.
that we know? We know 2 Yenzas.
Yeah, one's not royal though. Well, supposedly. No, this
One,
this is King Yanzala. We know Yanzaya. They can't be related.
yeah, but we call them both Yenza. So
That's true. Mm.
Yeah, the other Yenza is very well. She's careful about how much she says about her past. I've noticed, which is instantly the sort of thing that I look for in people that I trust. You know,
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't want to tell you all the details about their past.
Yeah, I think that she probably was in Alcatraz at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if she told me the worst part of prison was the Dementors.
Oh no. We got into a big conversation about Harry Potter yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my hot take was I like Harry Potter quite a bit. However, I think Harry Potter kind of lives in a world where some of the story feels like it teaches that the end justifies the means. Like, for example, Harry breaks
Okay.
a lot of rules like perpetually and is always the good guy. The rules seem to kind of be below him. Also, that includes like the unforgivable curses themselves. Because, you know, it was
Yeah.
important enough to save the world. And I don't like that. That's my heavy critique.
Are they really unforgivable, or are they just illegal? Because therein lies an interesting question. Because obviously these spells are illegal. They're called unforgivable, but they're illegal. And sometimes is there ever a time where like it's morally acceptable to break the law for the greater good? Because if you think about it as law, it may not be quite so you know.
I could grant that distinction if I saw anybody in the book that brought up that distinction. I don't know of anybody who says that these unforgivable curses are not intrinsically evil. It just is the Ministry of Magic that says that you can never do them. I just don't see that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it makes it trickier.
Yeah, it's hard. Because they're like, what are the 3? It's Killing Curse, Crucible. Isn't that it? The Crucible Curse? Which is like instant pain. And I'm trying to remember the 3rd one.
Imperio, the mind control one.
Ah, yeah, okay. I can see why all those are a problem.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Hogwarts Legacy?
I have not.
I'm going to recommend it to you because there is like, those curses are in there. You have the option to pursue them, but you can also be a very good wizard and not do them and never finish that part of your like your tree. And I don't know if you get an achievement for it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm trying to find how do we add each other to multiplayer? By the way?
I've been literally clicking trying to figure that out too. I've checked campaign, I've checked multiplayer, and I was like, maybe Peter knows. I was just gonna let you do it. I'm assuming. Let's see. There's a little chat button at the bottom for squad. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay, hold
My
on.
game
Yenza
session.
texted me. I have to reply to this real quick.
That's important. You're good.
She says, I try not to chat and Twitch from my phone too much because I'm still logged in as king. But I really wanted to ask what happened at the ending of Split Fiction. And you read my name and ignored my message. That last part's in all caps.
We sure did. And then Crimson Knight says, I didn't realize you finished Split Fiction. That means there's no split in your theology anymore, right? It actually means if you do what happens at the end of Split Fiction, it actually means that we're creating our own new denomination where we combined pieces of both of our stories. Because you remember they made a book together. They wrote a book together called Split Fiction. And part of it is fantasy and part of it is science fiction. And it's kind of their story.
Aw, I don't actually remember that at all. Did that really happen in the game?
It's really corny because, like, everything is so good, and then Zoe pulls out this book, and the book is literally the cover of the game, Split Fiction. And I'm like, you could have changed it a little. Like, you could have made it look a little more book-like. I'm assuming we can do this. Okay, cool. You found it. I was about to do it through the game bar, so yeah. I guess you'll need to find me based off of my Xbox account, right? Which is actually Webby Pumpkin 262.
Webby Pumpkin 262.
That's me. I'm part of the UNSC. You probably are too.
Status. Set as rival. Wow.
Hey, Neko Spot has been good to me lately. Legitimately, just about every time I go live, Neko's like, oh, it's that pumpkin kid again. Come on, people, let's go see him. What's up, Neko? How's it going?
But Yenza, that's basically... Oh, she also said that I picked up my phone and then put it down, which is normal streamy behavior, by the way. I oftentimes don't respond to text messages, but I'll make an exception for you. End of the story. Hopefully, do you think that was satisfying? They wrote a book. They defeated the corporate guy.
And they wrote a book.
Destroyed the machine. Also, the corporate guy lost funding from the board that was on mini monitors, and then they wrote a book and they healed their past trauma.
Yeah, this is not connected to that at all. I think it was satisfying because really their whole goal was to get published, and they did do that. They beat the guy and they got published.
Oh, it's true. That's, that's a good point.
It was like cheesy, lowest level, like satisfaction ever. But I want to tell you something that before I accept it, which is why you're still waiting on me. I get two options from the Microsoft Game Bar. I have the option to play here via PC, or I have the option to stream it via the Xbox app. Here's the thing. It says that P-Tony invited me to play a game, and the first option, it shortens. So instead of play here, it says play her. And I was about to be like, Peter, what? How do you have your Xbox account set up, my man? But it does. Like, here, I have it on the screen for everyone to see. But like, here it is. Here's the option. Play her.
My Epic name.
How's it going,
my
Nico?
Epic account name is P-Tony to Snack, and my Game Pass name is Peter Player. Peter Play her. Play something like that. I don't know. My account names are clearly very terrible. Scandalous stuff here.
Peter the Player. That's what they called him in high school, guys.
Peter the Player.
I clicked the button,
with an
but I don't
H
think it
in there.
worked.
Play her. Let me see.
Let me try accepting the new one. That also seems to have done nothing.
Well, I did get pinged in the Game of Favors Discord by somebody who says, K-Max, who says, Halo servers are having problems right now.
Good to know.
Good to know. That's unfortunate.
Wait. That's how when I clicked. Never mind.
Says,
That's how when I clicked on it, the screen changed to something different, and I was like, "Oh, did it work?" It didn't work.
Yenza says, sounds like an unsatisfying ending, but also thank you for answering. We're out of trouble. Good job.
Yay. Okay, let's see. Is there another way to do this? Because is it really the Halo server? Well, I guess it is the Halo servers we're playing on. But at the same time, it's also kind of Xbox Live. Oh, wait, you can change the network. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, your options are Xbox Live and LAN. Are you set to Xbox Live? I'm assuming you are.
I haven't. Is this in like the settings somewhere?
Yeah, it's settings network. Or options and career settings network.
Settings. Network.
Are we friends on Xbox, Peter?
I don't know. The friend system on Xbox confuses me. So I don't even know how to answer that. Yeah, I'm on Xbox Live.
All right, same here. Let me find you. And maybe we just need to actually be friends. And then you might actually just pop up in the game instead of us doing this other way around. Find more friends. What did you say your name was? Peter the Player, right?
No, it's actually, I think it's P-Tony to Snack somehow. Let me see. I don't know, man.
I'm a-searching. Nothing. I should have paid better attention when you invited me.
Find more friends. Search. Can I just search? Where's the search button?
So are you using the Xbox game bar, like Windows G?
No, I'm using the app. There you are. It says
Oh, you're using
offline.
the outdated wrong thing, Peter. The Xbox the game bar? Is that what you're using? P Tony the
No,
snack
I'm
with two
not-
C's.
Not the game bar. Whoa, you got raided by Pastor Goose.
Pastor Dustin! What up, P. Dustin? How you doing? I'm playing with P. Tony, but I'm glad that P. Dustin is here. What's up, my man? Raiders, welcome in. I'm Webby. This is Peter here next to me. He is not the important. No, yeah, he's pretty important. Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for raiding. We're trying to figure out how to play a game together because we're real good gamers, and we're good at the gaming, not the networking, you know? But so glad you're here. How's it going, Pastor Dustin? Guys, if you're brand new, like I said, I'm Webby. We prioritize pumpkin positivity here. If you want to know what that looks like, fundamentally, it just looks like being here for each other, like laughing, praying together, talking about life, not pretending that everything is always hunky-dory, but, you know, being real. Life isn't always like that. It'd be pretty disingenuous to pretend that life is just always good, but there is always hope, and so we want to point and direct towards that, and I think that's what actually ushers in real positive impact, real positive change. So that's the whole goal. What's up, Dustin? Okay, what was I doing? Sorry. Are we friends now? Did I accept it? Did I do it right?
I don't know. Halo support tweeted out 5 hours ago. The development team is working with partners to investigate reports of Halo online services and matchmaking errors. Stay tuned. They haven't tweeted
cute.
again since 5 hours ago. Raid. Hi, Reminiscent.
Hey. So, how is it that we managed to play a game, a brand new game, that's not attached to Steam at all? I just asked to join. Did it work? Invited you. Accept. Let's see if
invite
you just
to
show
party.
up with my friends now. Oh, do that. Wait, that's
How
gonna
did that work?
invite me to your Xbox party, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a voice chat through Xbox. So you probably hear me over there now too. You might hear me twice.
I do not hear you twice.
Really? Oh, I'm definitely talking
Really?
to this Xbox party.
Webby has joined the party. Windows G for game bar. Thank you.
Yep. That is definitely the way you want to do it, because it's pretty close to like Shift Tab for Steam, but Windows, like the Xbox version of it, you know. Thank you guys so much for the raid. Hope everyone's doing good. What did you guys stream? How was the stream? Tell me about it. I'd like to know while we figure this out.
Hold on. Now I'm voice chat off. There you go.
Yeah, I can just leave that party if you want, because all it is a voice party. Like it's a party chat.
Oh, well, yeah. Go ahead and leave that, because it's. I was trying to change it with. Oh my gosh! Why does Microsoft make this so confusing, brother? Okay. Invite player. Does that do anything?
It gives me a notification that I can click on, and then I'm able to, it says, P. Tony the Snack invited you to play Halo the Master Chief Collection. If I hit accept, I have the option to play here, stream, and cancel, and I keep saying, well, to play her. I'm going to try to stream it, though I don't have Game Pass Ultimate, so I'm not supposed to be able to stream it, but let's try.
Okay.
Yeah, that also didn't do it.
I know, it should be called Micro Hard. I'm thankful
I
to
don't
Jesus
like
that I'm
that.
alive. Back in 2023, in May, I had 2 shorter wrist deletes and ended up getting a pacemaker. I have him to thank for being alive, and also the ERR. I always read ER as ERR staff. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're alive too, and thankful to Jesus for that.
Peter, we are in the same party together already, you big doo-doo head.
No,
Hey,
that wasn't
Lamberto.
true before. That wasn't true before now.
I
promise.
just went into the Halo 3 campaign to start it myself, and it shows 2 players in the party.
Yeah.
Peter's the leader. All you have to do is press start.
I've been in the menu. I did not see you. I see you now. I didn't see you before. Wow,
Oh my
you got raided.
gosh.
You guys
Lamberto,
got
what's
here
up,
just
legend?
in time for co-op.
You got here
Clearly
just in time to
co-op.
realize that Peter doesn't know how to use Xbox. And that's okay, because I don't either. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for the follows. All right, so we got Pal and we got
nerd lately.
Christoph from Umia. Am I saying that right? Or is it from Mumia? I don't know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pumpkin Patch. Glad you're here. We're better off with you. Hey, if you're comfortable enough doing so, tell us a little bit about yourself. My name's Webby. This is Peter next to me. You are here where we are going to be as positive as we can, though I may occasionally, as you saw when you came in, call Peter doo-doo head.
No!
Generally speaking, I
Don't
want
do it!
Landon. What's up, Legend? How are you doing? How was stream? I hope everything is good. I have both, since the last time we talked, Landon, I have both stopped doing the last job that wasn't paying and got a new one, all like literally on the same day. It was kind of a cool God thing. I look forward to telling you about it sometime. But doing good, played Overwatch, let's go. I know that I'm becoming a gamer, Peter, because he didn't say played Overwatch. He said played OW. And used to, I would have read that as OW. But I knew he meant Overwatch in my brain, unless I'm wrong. Did I ever tell you about the AC story? Hey, I'm in here. I think you're the one that has to start it, by the way, Peter.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Birdo said with his. Do you see that?
My hands are not aligned. You'll never know what I said. What that said.
Peter,
I
a
don't know.
real one is what he said. I figured it out. All right. Huh. Which difficulty are we playing? Easy, normal, heroic, legendary. Liberto, you're also a real one. Good job.
You can choose. This is your playthrough, and if the harder you make it, the more you'll have to carry me. So you just think about it like that. We'll see. I'm hoping I'll warm up pretty quick. It's been a while since I played the game, but I'm playing it on keyboard and mouse. So because I want to try it, I want to experience the game differently. So it should be. I feel like this game that was made for consoles is just going to be kind of OP, like aiming with a mouse. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Another Trekkie. Go ahead.
Do you play Fortnite on keyboard and mouse?
I do. I didn't used to.
All right.
But I do now.
You're better shooter at me. You're a better shooter than me in Fortnite, so that's a good sign. I would like to do heroic, and tell
Let's
you
do it.
what, if I'm not a great shooter, so maybe we'll just regret this. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Regret, like you said.
Are we
No,
paying attention to the story? Chat, we're gonna pay attention to the story when story happens.
Well, this whole beginning is nothing but story. Like there's a whole like intro.
Well,
here.
it's a whole movie. We're gonna
It's
watch
not
a
a
whole
movie,
Let
but
me
it's
pick.
it's a nice little section.
Did I ever tell you that?
Do you remember everything that happened in 1 and 2?
Choose whichever
Because this is a
Spartan
direct
I remember one.
continuation.
I don't remember 2 very well,
You know me.
so I might need to recap.
I did
Do you
my
remember what
research.
happens to Cortana
Watched
at the
as
end
you
of 2?
became the soldier we
No.
needed you to be.
You
What happened to
basically
Cortana?
sacrifice her.
Like the
Oh.
others,
And
you were
so the
strong
beginning of
and
this,
swift
you
and
see that like
brave,
you basically
a
get
natural
you
leader.
fall to the earth out of
you
the
had
ship
something
in the
they
area
didn't.
that you were. I can't remember if it was
Something
a
no
ship
one
or if it was
saw but me.
a halo. But you fall to the earth or this planet.
Can you guess?
You're locked up and you don't have Cortana anymore. And the first thing you have to do is try to
Luck.
find Cortana.
Okay.
Yep.
Good luck at class, Neko.
Neko, good luck.
Was I wrong?
Pike says, Pastor Deucin, thanks again on behalf of me, my wife, siblings, and my family for the prayers from those that was in his stream. It's greatly appreciated. Pastor Deucin's a great guy. Hey, we'll continue to pray for you. We'll keep the prayer going, pal, if needed. There are people floating on the screen. Must have eaten a mushroom. Yeah, that's what happened. Yep. It was Peter.
Am I
Peter's the
floating
floater.
on your screen?
This ain't good.
You shouldn't be.
Damn.
You should just be over to the side. Oh, we got raided, so all
2
the
kilometers,
stream
easy.
avatars blew
Stay
up
sharp.
and went everywhere.
Oh, I see.
Yep. There you. Well, I think
There
that's
us
you.
are.
I've never played this in co-op, but I think. Do you remember who the Arbiter is?
Gorman?
Yeah,
His
like
armor's
in
locked
the
up.
second one,
Gel layer could have taken most of the impact.
there's a narrative reason to have 2 players, but I think the first, I don't
know,
think that they
Sergeant
continued
Major.
that in the third one, right?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be that way the whole time, but because I was trying to find out, but the Arbiter is at the beginning of the game. So I think I will be the Arbiter and you will be Master Chief until the
Really?
Arbiter's no longer around, and then I'll be like, the other Master Chief, the way Combat Evolved does it, is what I think he's going to do.
Okay.
Radio
Yeah.
for Vital. Heavy lift gear.
I make a motion that you can be Master
not leaving
Chief,
him here.
and I can be known as Master Chef.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh, crazy fool. Why do you
We're,
always jump?
we're not dead.
One of these days, you're gonna land on something as stubborn as you are. And I
But
don't
there is no
do bits
Cortana
and
in his
pieces.
little chip.
Why did we sacrifice
Chief?
Cortana?
Great question. I
Where
don't
is
fully
Cortana?
remember. I
Oh,
think that she
Don't make
stayed
a girl a
behind to blow
promise.
up the Halo,
If
but
you
I'm
know
not
you can't
100%
keep
sure.
it.
Okay.
She stayed behind.
Corporal, make it quick.
Sorry, sir. Your armor's still in partial lockdown.
This is also the least pretty
Uh-oh.
game of the 3. Or the 4 that you play on Master Chief Collection.
Hey, wait!
Because it's the only one
Arbiter's with us.
of the main that they didn't give like the back and forth to.
Enough to worry about without
Because you know how like
two
on
trying to
Combat
kill each
Evolved in 2, you can switch from like
Words
the
so
Unreal
easy.
graphics to the original graphics and back and forth. Like it runs them
Mhm.
in parallel. We can't do that with this. This is
We
just
must go.
upscaled Xbox 360 version is
Then they
what we
must
get.
love the smell of hero.
Gotcha.
But then by the time you get to 4, it looks pretty good again. Unpopular opinion too. I think 4 is my favorite. I liked 2 a lot, but I think 4 is my favorite.
Okay. 2, the plot got a little convoluted for me.
All right, there you are,
Squad,
P. Tony
give my
the snack.
scouts.
What do I look like
Arbiter,
to you?
Watch the chief's back.
You're the arbiter.
Move
Yeah!
out as fast as you can.
Let's go! I get to be someone new. This is great. This is now technically a new experience for me because I've already played this as Master Chief, so this is great.
Well, there you go. I need to pull this down so I can't see
Let's
past
move,
the
Chief.
arm of my
Come
microphone.
on, I'll lead you out.
Oh my gosh, and my controls are better as the Arbiter than they are as Master Chief.
We're
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
floaty.
When you pull away too far, instead of P. Tony the snack, dash 117, when you get like really far away, it just says 117. And I love that. Do you get why? Do
That's
you
my
remember the lore?
age. What?
Oh, really? Do you remember why it says 117?
No.
Okay, so that's
Because that's our
that's-
platoon or something.
no, that's you, John 117, Spartan 117. You are
well,
Master
you
Chief.
also say 117 when
That's
you're far away.
probably a bad thing that. Man, Halo almost made it really cool. I wish mine would have been like ARB or something, like Arbiter. Whatever.
Oh, those are friendlies. What are some of the other controls? Like, what is melee?
Are you playing keyboard and mouse too?
Uh-huh.
I have mine set to the so if you, I don't know if this pauses it for you, but if you go into your settings and then controls, you actually get to pick between Halo Reach or Halo 4, like whatever version you want to play. I'm using Halo 4, and so for me, that makes Q your melee.
Q is also my melee. So far, so good.
Yeah, if you didn't change anything, and you know, Reach and Halo 4 might have the same configuration, but for me, to give you a quick rundown of what I've figured out so far, right click is zoom, left click is shoot, and then Q is melee, and then Z is also zoom, X is zoom out, E is interact or like pick up weapons, F is pick up a secondary weapon because you can dual wield. If you get like 2 pistols, you can do one in each hand in this game, and you can also throw
Oh.
grenades with F. Oh crap! And I just did it. Oopsie. And then, or maybe C is how you pick up the other one. I may have fibbed
C
to you
is
by
dual
accident.
wield. Yeah.
C is dual wield. Yep. All right, and that's it. That's all I know so far.
Banshee bomb. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine.
And I cannot switch weapons, even though I set that in my configuration. I can't switch weapons. I'm gonna try to fix that real quick.
This looks like there should be something special and secret over here. Maybe not. All right. It's just being. Whoops.
Oh, it didn't save under your game. I see. Interesting. Now I should be able to switch weapons. And I can. Sweet. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're so in it now. Posted
We're
with our
so
prayer request
in
in
it.
Discord and progress. Absolutely, pal. We will definitely pray for that. Here, I'll pull it. Are you okay with me sharing it on stream, pal? If so,
Yes.
I'll share it right
Oh.
now. But if you're not, I'll just read it, you know, at a different time. Why are we walking around at the bottom of the screen? I'm getting dizzy.
That's stream avatars. Are you not
That's
familiar with stream avatars?
Yeah, have you never seen it? Like, it's some fun stuff. You guys can even. Oh man, I wasn't messing. You can even fight each other. Thank you for following, Philip. Is it Chulaquil or Chulaqui? Help me say your name correctly. You know, streamers can't read, but Shaliqua. Is it? You're lying to me. All right, I'll pull you up on Discord on my phone real quick and read it off. Where are you? you, Discord. I'm such a good streamer that I know where all my apps are. All right, Pal says, as I passed the security check at the airport, I got a call from a hospital and police notifying me that my dad, whose name is Peter, went downstairs to the kitchen after putting on a movie for my 2 daughters and 5 nieces to watch. A drunk driver crashed his truck into the living room, pinning my dad in between the truck and the kitchen wall. Now he is in relatively stable condition considering the accident, but he will need a kidney and a lung transplant, but they can't operate until they get his blood pressure down, and will need to do surgery on his spinal cord, and there's a 70% chance of him being paralyzed from the neck down. He is still in coma. My daughters heard him in the commotion, ran downstairs and saw what happened. Naomi, the oldest out of all the girls, dialed 911. Oh my gosh, friend.
That's
yeah, I would.
tough, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say that's an urgent request. Chula Koki. Hello, no problem. Just Chula is fine, or hey you. I don't know if I'm even saying the Chula one right, but I'm trying. Pal, Peter and I are both believers. We actually do a podcast on Tuesdays called Tangled Christianity, and I'm confident that I, and probably Peter, will have no problem continuing to pray for your dad in this situation.
Yeah, of course.
Chula, okay, so well, I got this, Koki. Chula Koki. Yeah. His name is my name too. When Chula does go out, the people always shout, there you go. It doesn't work. I'm trying, and it's just not fitting in the box. All right, I'm gonna actually be a good co-streamer now and do all the good things.
You're talking to chat, and I'm playing the game. These are the 2 things that we're supposed to do on stream. So it's divide and conquer.
And we're making great progress. I haven't even had to reload my weapon once. Let me do that now. There we go. Hey, I can shoot pretty far. Maybe I'll pop them. Yep,
Welcome up.
You nasty.
Oops, that's friendly.
I like this gun.
Which gun?
It is called the... I don't know what it's called. It's purple and it shoots far.
Oh, the carbine.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's definitely
Yeah.
a Covenant weapon, but... Oh, I was behind the tree, man.
Wow,
P-Tony and new
grenades.
friends. I have exciting news. All right, Casey. What's the exciting news for P-Tony and friends? I'm usually referred to as P-Tony friend.
Hi.
I can definitely tell that we're on a harder difficulty because one shot takes me like half health.
Oh. I got accepted into college. Oh, well,
Woot.
congrats. What are you studying?
I want to know the same thing. How many Christian-themed games are there, and how are any of those built for all platforms, Windows, Linux, and Mac? Christian-themed games. Great question.
Are you
I'm
looking
trying to-
for good games?
Well, I'll tell you about the shirt I'm wearing. It's called Gate Zero. The game's not out yet, but it's going to be available on everything. It is the story of a young boy who is going to Jerusalem for the Passover at the same time that Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem. And that's about as much as I know about the game and how far the story is going to go, because it's not finished. But the development team is very lovely and nice. So check out Gate Zero, or there's actually a free trial on Steam and itch.io if you want to check it out right now. I said it's going to be on everything. That's technically true, but I don't know if it's going to be supported by Mac. You know how Mac can be.
Ooh,
But,
Mac, yeah, if I was a developer, I would not develop Mac, just being honest, from what I've heard about it.
Yeah.
It's the smallest market, and it's the most expensive one to develop.
If I was pretty established, like, I wouldn't start there. But if I had a game like Hades or something and everybody loved it,
Sure.
I would port it to Mac OS. Yeah, what is up, Loki Rampage? How are you doing, Loki? I'm so sorry I haven't sent your thing yet. I've got it sitting on my table. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be. Oh, I shot you. I'm so sorry. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool. Palkia King says, my dad is retired from the U.S. Marines and FDNY after serving a combined service of 34 years, 4 years with the Marines, 30 with the FDNY. Wow. Well, I appreciate your dad. Definitely prayers for a quick recovery. Do we know if there is anyone that's like a match for a kidney for him already, or are we is the plan to just keep looking? Fish might be a little loud. I can turn it down a little bit.
What is our current mission in the game right now?
Great question.
Something about an extraction point, he just said.
I wonder if there's a way to, like, I don't know, like show a waypoint. Because I don't know exactly. Most of Halo, though, is kind of walk to the end. So, until you get to, like, newer games.
Yeah, but there's still going to be a story, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are we walking to what end?
For reasons.
Oh. Is there a flashlight button?
There should be. I don't know what it is, but there should be.
Pre-aquarium technology.
I'm surprised that you opted to play keyboard and mouse.
Oh, that's because I'm a real gamer.
Okay. Okay. Pre-aquarium technology. I'm not really sure what that is. Tell me more. Hi, long time no chat. Hope you're well. I am doing quite well. I started a new job, Loki, and so that's
hi,
great.
Loki.
And then I also get to do a cool podcast every week with this fella, so that's kind of neat. Hope you're doing well. How's life? I know you got a whole, like, wedding coming up and all. I think I found a way. I've just been jumping on rocks. I'm either going backwards or I'm going to the correct location.
Tell me its location.
Oh, I found it.
Oh.
I found it. This is it.
I hear bad guys.
Yep, I'm going to shoot the brute. Oh, no. We hit him and the person... Oh, he didn't die. Yay, we saved the soldier. Let's go. It's basically working with fish and water. Interesting. But not like a marine biology type thing, right? Just like more like the touristy, I don't want to say tourist, but the tourism, like aquarium side of that, of like marine biology maybe.
Does pre-aquarium mean like fish before they make it to an aquarium or somehow? Like, I imagine you're not talking about researching technology that came before the aquarium. That's got to be the wrong way to understand.
Oh, that must be what is meant.
Any technology that came out before the aquarium, I researched.
Yeah, I study the ocean. Actually, it is a marine biology degree. Go figure.
The demon? That's not very good.
That's your name.
Are we playing Doom, guys? You talked about...
This was Doom before Doom was cool. Yeah, actually, I think Doom... Didn't it come out today? Or is it next week?
Did it?
I don't know. I know it comes out on a Tuesday. Oh, poop. I threw a grenade, and it stuck to the tree next to me. I know it comes out on a Tuesday, but I can't remember if it was today or next Tuesday. It might be next Tuesday. Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Life is life, LOL. I've made the decision to pack up my PC for now. Plan to return eventually. Wedding planning is good. Going good overall. I, funnily enough, just picked up my dress today. Yes, you did. That's amazing. I'm super excited for you guys.
Welcome to the party.
We're a family of service members. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. You were reading it already.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll take turns. We're family of service members. My late mom, who was called home to the Lord a couple months ago after battling brain tumor, sorry to hear that, an early onset dementia. She also served, but with the NY and 9/11 dispatch. Oh!
Could you sacrifice me to complete your mission?
Sorry, the game is interrupting me.
Yeah. Could you
Jeez.
sacrifice Cortana to complete your mission?
Apparently, yes. That's what we did in 2.
Yeah, I don't think we had
32
all
years.
full of a
Thank you
choice.
all
I think
for
she
your
like
service.
ejected us.
Yeah.
For sure. It's more or less like pH level setting for proper aquariums and aquatic environments. Ah, you will be the fish pool boy. I'm kidding. Actually, that's really exciting. It sounds like it's something you really like. You're really passionate about, and I love that. So that's amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Break off now.
Oh man, I gotta quit shooting our friends.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Off the thruster. Hang on. Get a hold
I'm
of
slow
her.
on the trigger because I wait to
We're
confirm
going
that my
down.
reticule turns. Reticule? Is that the right word?
Sure.
Turns red. My aim.
Yeah.
Thing.
Aren't you annoyed that with most of your guns, if you right-click, It just zooms in on your visor.
Hope you're ready for some action.
Oh, well, I'm used to that. Isn't that like classic Halo?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's been a long time since I played it. And for me, I want to aim down sight when I do it. I can aim down sight with this gun, so I don't mind it.
You're ready to get your hands dirty, Arbiter.
Man, this is a high difficulty, P-Tony. I appreciate your efforts.
We gotta suffer, buddy.
I just don't have enough health. That's the only thing. My overshield as the Arbiter is bad. Maybe if I wore armor that didn't have, you know, a midriff, I'd be okay.
Feels fake. Feels fake to me.
Also, hey, P-Tony, I did hear you. Hello. I'm Jack. This is my dad's account. I personally don't watch Twitch much, but while me and my wife and my brother, his wife, and my 2 sisters and their husbands are deployed, when we would FaceTime Dad, he would tell us about how he felt welcome. Oh, that's amazing.
Aww.
Well, hey, Jack, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, good to have you.
I will shoot and murder this enemy in the name of Jack.
Oh. I put down a shield with shift. Shift is not run. Shift is deployable.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think you can run until Halo 4.
I think that, like, this is the era of gaming where you were just
They were
default
figuring it out.
moving speed, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in theory, if every gamer is always holding down the run button, why don't you just have the character always fight the ball?
Yeah.
But it feels good to hold down the run button.
I prefer to run. But, you know, what you gonna do? Oh, yeah, I'm playing full-on Juggernaut style now. Let's go. I'm locking in. I'm getting used to this shooter. I fibbed. I was jumping when I should have been ducking. Also, keep my girls and nieces in your prayers. Naomi, she's 6, and the oldest was the one who called. Oh, the oldest is 6? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no! Oh, I fell. Hey, look, it's a fish! Oh, you can't see. We're on a dam or something.
Yeah, we are. All right, I want a better gun than this. You know what? We're going... Actually, no, I want this back. I want to dual wield that. Oh, no! Don't fall off the side. It's dangerous. Reminder, you have to let your job know you'll be out of state next October. Oh, gosh. Please. Oh, my gosh. I have to take so much off. Loki.
Oh, no!
Are you guys going to live stream the I did say not to do that. Are you guys going to live stream the wedding or anything like that?
Don't let that down.
Are you going to Loki's wedding? Is that what that means?
That's why she sent the winky face. I'm invited, and I'm very appreciative of it. I truthfully don't know if I can make it to New York a second time, because I'm already going to be there next month.
Get a hold of her.
On that note, though, Loki, I am going to be in New York next month, the first week of June.
Me and my wife have decided to resign from the military to take care of my dad. And my wife got infected, and
I'm going to die. I died.
Don't die!
No, we're not
don't
live
do
streaming it as of right now, at least. I totally understand that, especially for privacy reasons, but also I could totally see you doing it. So even if it's not like you know, on Twitch for everyone to see, but like a private event, you know, I can see you like live streaming it for family that live far away and everything like that.
Oh.
Yeah, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We'll be in like central Manhattan. At least we're consistently dying, Peter, on the very first level.
It's true.
Break off now.
Christopher, I would personally have the viewpoint that
Get a hold of
big
her.
explosions.
Negative.
That
We're going down.
I mean, we're playing a war game, so like defending yourself against another army is not ideal, but there are things that can justify that would be my view.
Find Johnson's crashed Pelican. That's our objective.
Oh, we're saving Johnson?
Yeah, and do it without dying. That's the part I'm not good at. Also, I agree with everything you said, Christopher. What games would you
climb a
suggest,
ladder.
Christopher?
Slay the Spire. No, I suppose you still kill things in Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
They're just different things. They're just monsters and such.
I guess it really has to come down to is it murder? Because war I think is something different. But is it just killing or is it murder? Because I may or may not eat meat. No, I do. I definitely eat meat.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's. I think killing rational creatures versus irrational creatures is going to be a pretty wide difference.
Yeah.
You alive again?
I am.
Yeah, you're.
I'm alive like I've never been. All right, I normally like to play very Juggernaut, but I'm gonna have to hang
You
back.
have to be more careful.
Yeah. Because I want us to actually progress. Kind of maybe how actual war would work.
I haven't heard of that. What's Atlantis: The Lost Tales about?
I haven't heard of it either, but I like. I think I would like Atlantis. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been smoked. I have June 3rd off, but yuck, Manhattan. June 3rd is the day we'll get there too, so we'll leave out of New Orleans early that morning. So yeah, I'm not really sure what time we'll be there. But I gotta figure out how to navigate the subway because we're gonna take the bus. Even though Father Evan sent me the Curb app, like a referral, it looks like Pre-Pony, same person. Pre-Pony recommended the bus to the subway, and it's only like $10, yo, like for all of us. So that's definitely the way to do it. Yeah, we'll be all around there, and then we're ending the weekend with Hamilton. We'll end of the week with Hamilton, so that'll be cool. Grenade out. I don't know how to switch between grenades, so I just use up one until it goes to the other. Two? It's two? Oh, yeah. I should put that on my other button, because I have two side buttons on my mouse. I should make it my other mouse button. That way one is weapon and one is grenade. Look at us making progress.
Look at that.
Thanks, Loki.
Checkpoint. We were that close to the checkpoint that first time? That
Apparently. Sorry, Loki, been lurking since before the raid, I guess. What is this game? This is Halo 3. P-Tony hasn't played it, and so I agreed to play it with him, and he decided, let's play it on God mode. Let's play it on the...
No, we're playing it on heroic. We're not even on legendary. It could be worse.
This isn't... This is not as bad as it could be?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Okay.
People play it harder than this.
Those aren't people. Those are legends.
Those are monsters.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow there, Vengeance Falls. 1996. Is 1996 the year you were born? Gotta represent those near 30s, Gotta represent. How's it going, Vengeance? Welcome to the Pumpkin Patch. We're better off with you here. Hey, if you feel comfortable enough doing so, we'd love to get to know you a little bit better. Tell us about yourself. That sniper is good. Be advised.
It's very annoying. Stop, sniper.
All right, he's dead. Unless there's another one.
Oh, yep, there's one right there. Oh, I thought I was on my battle rifle, and so I started clicking a bunch, but I was on my RPG.
I want to pick up this sniper, and I see it, but it won't let me pick it up.
Yeah, they're annoying like that sometimes.
All right. I was like, I feel like I could clear a path a little bit easier this way.
Nope,
Whatever.
they don't want it. They don't want us to do that.
It is. Let's go. That's awesome. Well, how are you preparing for nearly 30? I'm a 94 baby, so I
Hey,
recently turned
there's the
30.
sniper right here. He dropped his sniper
Oh,
to pick up.
yay! Let's go.
Or it's a carbine. I'm not actually sure.
Maybe it's a carbine because I can't. It doesn't show up for me, and I have one, so maybe that's what it is. I thought it was a
Yeah,
better
that's
weapon than that, though.
Yeah, it feels like a Covenant sniper.
I'm not saying that I'll do it now, but sometime in the near future, I'll ride a bike from. Is it Umeå or Umeå to Stockholm? Normally by train it takes 7 hours. Oh my gosh! How long will it take on a bike? Also, the prosecutor police detective that is handling the case told us that a little while ago. They are charging the driver with DUI, DWI, possession attempted weapons violations, and will recommend the maximum penalty. This is his third strike, and they take this personally, even though Dad is retired, but he's still a first responder family, and no one do this to one of their own. Wow. I just hope that, like, you know, his blood pressure and everything stabilizes really quickly, and all will be well. I'm gonna try this, whatever it is. Oh, I know what this is. It's the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Those are fun. From 83. I'm from 89. I feel old too. Where are you from? You're from what? 92?
Wait a second. I don't know what you're asking me. Are you asking me my
What
birth year? Yeah, 94.
94.
Yes, sir.
You're so young. Wow.
Yeah. When were wait, Peter, what are you said?
I'm from 89.
Whoa, guys, I'm sorry. I have not been speaking in Peter's native tongue. I'll fix that from now on. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna kill this guy, okay? Gotta eliminate him. You understand now, Sonny?
This is a Vietnam simulation, right? That's from my childhood.
Oh my gosh. You know, I didn't. Not that I think you're just so much older than me. That's not what I mean. That dude shot me while I was falling out of the sky. Way to go, bots. But I didn't realize that the age gap was so big between us. I still don't like that language, but
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. It's okay.
age is just a number.
Respect your elders. Hey, Wilbug, how you doing? Couldn't agree more. You're from 82? Pog. How do I say this?
Oh, poop.
Poggy King?
I remember Loki thought that I was younger than I was, and I appreciate that. Loki, when did you think I was? Did you like? You thought I was like a 97 or 98 baby or something? I don't know. I'll appreciate it though, because she thought I was much younger than Pri and much closer to her age, and I was like, yes, please continue believing this. Yes, my friend, yes. Correct. The brutes are rough.
There's a sniper around there.
It's so funny because I was just thinking about that. I thought you were only 26. Woot! We chose this time to come home for vacation to celebrate my dad's 69th birthday, which is tomorrow. Well, I hope that he's feeling much better by tomorrow. I know all things considered, but... Alright, I got the ship to fly away. Hopefully that helps.
That's good. Goodbye, ship. Oh! There's somebody.
Oh, grenades. Watch them. Oh, oh, oh! I believe I can fly.
You got exploded.
Oh, man, I
There's
started
some-
back
Oh,
to my
there
other way.
you are. I was wondering. There was a sniper behind you.
Oh! Sniper to the left. You're right. Snipers
well, I was
to the
talking
left
about a
of me.
different one.
Grim Reapers to the right. Here I am. Shot through the noggin with you. Grenade out.
Nice.
Oh, I think I stuck it to the brute. Let's go. I did.
Nice.
That's what I like to see. All right, that sniper is up to the left, so just be careful. Oh, he's not completely gone yet, but I weakened him. All right, now he's gone. Who is hitting me from over here? I keep trying to like tag people, like place a wave marker on them, and it like you would do in Fortnite, it doesn't work. Oh my gosh, they are all over the backside.
Oh yeah, maybe we got flanked. That feels like a Covenant thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that my shadow is actually the Arbiter's shadow. That's cool.
That is fun. Stop it! Stop hitting me!
Yeah, get wrecked. All right, I am taking down enemies, so I'm not all bad.
You're doing great.
Hey. You and your I like a challenge.
Well, yeah.
Dual wield. Let's go.
Nice.
Sounds like a heavy chain smoker when they said I'll be right there. Oh man. Wonder what the age of 69 if I ever make it. Benji Fall says, Webby, well, I'm an adult living with autism and I'm Christian and I love metal music and video games. That's freaking awesome.
That's fun.
That's awesome. Well, well, how do you feel like autism has affected your life as an adult and just growing up as well? Because so my brother-in-law, he's on the spectrum. He has Asperger's, but I've been trying to learn more and more just about just how it's wild, just how different people on the spectrum can be, even like one from the next. Like everybody's a little bit different, so it's really fascinating. If you feel comfortable enough talking about it, Vengeance.
Cutscene. Quid pro quo. That's Latin.
See how they beat their trap?
Yeah, something for something.
There you go.
I will help you sprint.
Thanks. You can't be the only one that talks Latin Catholic. No, I'm kidding.
I'm fine with that. I mean, shucks. Sola Fide is also Latin.
Fair enough. Rusty Johnson and his squad. Look at us being in sync.
Maybe he should have just not gotten
caught? Oh my gosh, we are on it. All right, I'm taking
I'm
the
in
cave.
sync but dead.
Stay alive, waiting to respawn.
I'm surprised it doesn't have me follow your body with my camera.
Oh, are you just like staring at your corpse?
Yeah.
That's so awful. It says, look at what you did. Look at the mistakes you made.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I am not I have autism, but first of all, I'm a person. Well, of course you are. I'm not my illness, of course. I hope you didn't assume that I was meaning anything different.
Because some people will very, very strongly prefer, don't say that somebody's autistic, say that they have autism. Is that your perspective on it?
Oh, that's an interesting, yeah. Tell me more. We're sitting here praying for a miracle, but may the will of God be done. But yes, we are nervous, angry this happened to my dad, but we choose to forgive and pray for the driver. He means God and surrender to Jesus, because no one is too far gone. Grace, forgiveness, love to reach. Well, that's a mature take on it. I wish this reticle was a little bit more fine instead of a circle or a sniping weapon.
Yeah,
Whatever.
well, it's
Like a
supposed to be
crosshair.
like mid-range. We're not supposed to be able to do... Oh, there's a lot of people up there. All right, I'm going back.
Fair
I'm sorry.
enough.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
I feel like I need
I'm
to
sorry.
put a crosshair on. You know, my monitor has a, this might be cheating, but my monitor has a setting where I can put my own crosshair on the screen.
Well, I think that even if you have a better crosshair, the
would
weapon
still go
just
everywhere.
only has so much accuracy.
Yeah, it'd have some spread. All right, I am dead looking at my own corpse, so stay alive, friend.
Okay. I'll fall back. That's fine. Ah!
Oh my gosh. I just watched you blow up to the corner. All right, I'm back. That's amazing. Me too, praying a week except for his coma. Same.
Yeah.
I hope
that's
that by
wild.
tomorrow
That's
everything's so much better. I wonder if I can change my setting to be hold to toggle. Because right now to crouch you have to hold control, and I would rather toggle it.
I would, if that was an option, but maybe they had to come up
Let's
with
see.
that at some point, right?
If I pause, does it like pause the game for you as well?
It does not.
Okie dokie, stay alive then. I'm gonna try to change this.
Stay
Crouch, paver, hold,
alive.
toggle. Beautiful, beautiful. It does have it. Amazing.
Oh,
Beautiful. Oh,
I don't take medication for it since I don't trust Big Pharma for many reasons. Webby and I were talking. This was a while ago, I suppose, but we, yeah, no, I understand that.
oh, if you're close enough, there's a dot in the middle of the circle. Okay. You know, I never really thought about there being medication for autism. I mean, it makes sense that there would be, but I've never thought about it. Poop nuggets.
Would you stop it?
Yeah, my brother-in-law doesn't take anything either. Of course, this is Asperger's, so I don't know.
Yeah, I respect that. I think we do talk about we do talk about these conditions as disabilities, and fair enough, I suppose. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like, it's the way that God made us, and learning there's advantages and disadvantages sometimes. So, like, learning how to take the challenges on the chin and get used to them, but also appreciating the strengths that you have.
I found a
think
way
it's-
underneath them if you don't want to have to go through them. If you step to the right, you can go under it.
Oh, wow!
It was. I'm not gonna lie, it was an accident, but I did find it.
Are we cheating?
I mean, it's clearly here. So, is it cheating or is it secret tunnel?
Whoops!
Oh.
I had a
Oh, I like listening to the
Flavor
company
Flav.
talk.
yeah, they're funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he has a power hammer.
I see that. Not anymore. I'm dead, but
Me too. All right, you go low, I'll go high. How's that?
all right. Crouched. I think I'm gonna throw a grenade in there actually.
Come here, buddy.
Can I dual wield a needler? That'd be nice. Can do that. No needler. Nope. You know what? Let's try the needler. I feel like I remember liking this gun. Power hammer.
You found a power hammer?
Well, it's still in an enemy's hand, but yes.
Well, there you go.
Oh, I'm out of bullets.
I'm actually a full-time streamer. I host a game show on Friday nights. That's my main shtick. And I don't have a full income. I have a pretty modest income. Oh, I'm dead.
Me too. I got hit by the other guy's main shtick. It was a hammer.
But yeah, I am a full-time streamer. I put 40 hours or more a week into both streaming and the behind-the-scenes of streaming.
Yep. And I just started a new job. I'm a PR and multimedia consultant and specialist for a local learning resource center, and that's half of the job. The other half is this school is on a, oh, you don't even have a hammer anymore. It is on a farm. Think very old school, like, oh my gosh, very old school learning resource center. It looks like a little red schoolhouse, single room. Makes me think of a Little House on the Prairie. Anyway, the farm, I'm the like farm tech manager. So.
You're back. Welcome back.
Yay.
We're being shot.
But before that, literally just
You're
up until
safe.
like last week, I checked inland oil wells. But I'm glad to be doing
So are
something
you
different.
entirely done with oil now?
I'm gonna do weekends. I was offered weekends, like every other weekend, and oh yeah, up on the top, surprise. And then if one of the wells south of me comes back online, he asked me if I could do it every day. I haven't chatted with him about that yet, but I'm not gonna take that every day. And then
Yeah.
if he wants to keep me on weekend, like every other weekend, so he can give his other guy time off, that's fine, because that'll add just a little bit extra to my income. But if not, that'd be fine too, because I'm gonna have to get used to like feeling like I have time off. That's weird, you know, for me.
Yeah.
But I am super grateful. Like today, my work today, Peter, was awesome. This morning I slept in a little bit. I mean, it feels like a major sleep in for me. I slept until like 9, but got up at 9. I went to a coffee shop. I pulled out my computer and I synced up our social media accounts and got access to that. I I set up a scheduler, and then I wrote all of our social posts for the rest of the week and got those scheduled.
Wow.
And that was basically what I did today, because I did an 8-hour day yesterday, so it was awesome.
We're even. Long
I
as
think
we're only counting today.
having time to be able to think
Kilo 2-3. What's your
can
ETA?
be like it sets you up to be able to be creative. Like you've been talking about how you felt very dry and tired.
Roger that, Hocus.
Yeah,
Looking
Friendly
forward to.
gunship
I
coming in
hope
hot.
that changes for you now.
me too. I think there's going to be a little bit of like a transition time to get there, but I'm excited about it because I found myself thinking like, you know, I could have like, you know, clocked out and then did all that same stuff like of scheduling and planning, but just for Webby Pumpkin. I didn't do it, but I could have and done even more. I don't know if you can actually take the ship down.
I don't think so. Oh, hey! I'm surrounded. I'm dead. Stay alive.
I'll try. I should have tried harder. I work as a salesman in an own retail store. That's cool. Do you like it? It's been so nice chatting with you, but I've got to get going. Talk soon. It's been really nice to see you again. Loki, I hope you have a fantastic night, my friend.
Yeah. Have a good one. Good to see you.
All right, I'm about to run up in this like the Wild West.
Wasting my item. Bye.
Here they come down the stairs. To the left. I'll get you, you filthy animal. I'm dead.
Don't be dead.
But I also
Be
took him with me.
alive.
I'm back.
You're back.
It would be really nice if it started me back with the weapon that I dropped. I know why it doesn't, but it sure would be nice. I'm tired right now, yes. I'm holding the phone away from the water. Good. I mean, most modern cell phones are pretty water resistant anyway, right? You're fine. Live on the edge, you know? Do your thing. Now we're talking.
Hey, nice job, whoever destroyed that. Oh, that's the Pelican. Good job, Pelican.
Now I have 2 of the same gun. I am ready to eliminate. Because I'm going to stop saying the M word. Oh, I kicked my light and it got really bright. Am I going
Hold
backwards?
E to ride in the Pelican.
Sweet. You left me, but I think that I'll mysteriously show up anyway.
Oh, look at that. You're there. Wow.
Yeah, you know, I'm good like that. Webby,
Try to
I was
run
the final
away.
boss of Giving Hearts. Long, Father Evan. I felt like I was fighting Ansem for 74 hours.
IFF confirmed. Contact
So
Pelican
long.
dropship, Kilo 2-3, over.
Roger that. What's the word, Kilo 2-3? Sierra 117
But it is beaten.
on board. Request priority clearance. Over. Deck's yours. Come on down.
I'm waiting to start Kingdom Hearts 2, though, until stream next week. Or Thursday, technically, because it's Tuesday. So on Thursday, we'll start part 2. I'm going to try to watch all the cutscenes before then, though, because I don't think that would be very interesting to the general populace. So, yeah. So tell me the story behind the name Pitoni the Snack.
Sorry for the
Really?
tight squeeze. Tell the commander her ace is in the hole.
I was just cheeky. I went through a cheeky phase.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like my about page says hot Catholic guy. That's from the same time frame.
Check it out.
That's
No
amazing.
way. A Spartan? For real. You better not be. Oh, man, he's here. We're gonna be
Where did you find
You
him?
could have been like cheeky and edgy and been like, confession.
I'll bet.
I'm a hot Catholic guy.
It's good to see you, Chief.
Likewise, ma'am.
Let's get you up to speed.
God
The
bless
guy-
Christopher. Good meeting you.
The Prophet of Truth's
I-
ships breached
everything
the
he
lunar
said.
perimeter.
Snack.
Smashed what was left of the home fleet.
Went
Terrestrial
through? Yeah,
casualties
I
from the
suppose I'm still
subsequent
cheeky.
bombardment
I'm
were
supposed to pay attention to plot.
Truth could have landed anywhere, but he committed all his forces here, East Africa, the ruins of New Mombasa. Then they started digging.
Her mouth does not match her words.
Is
What
this
about Halo?
We
Earth?
stopped
She
it,
just mentioned
but
Africa.
only temporarily.
I guess we are on
Now
Earth.
the Prophet of Truth is looking
I
for
thought
something
Earth
called
was dead.
the Ark, where
I
he'll
don't
be
know.
able to fire all the Halo rings.
I don't
If
remember.
he
I know Earth was
succeeds,
attacked by the Covenant.
Humanity, the Covenant, every sentient being in the galaxy.
The rings will kill us all.
Ma'am, I have Lord Hood.
Patch him through.
Good news, Commander Keys?
Good as it gets, sir.
So I see.
Oh,
What's
just
your
part
status,
of her.
son?
Green, sir.
Gotcha.
Glad to hear it. Commander's come up with a good plan, but without you, I wasn't sure we could pull it off.
Truth's ships are clustered above the excavation site, and his infantry has deployed anti-aircraft batteries around the perimeter. But
You ever thought about
if
if
we
Master Chief
neutralize
just
one of
needs
the
a nap?
batteries, punch a hole in Truth's defenses.
I'll
Man's been
initiate a
fighting
low-level
for his whole
strike.
life.
Hit him right where it
Yeah.
hurts.
Well, he just took a nap at the
I only
beginning
have
of
a
the game.
handful of ships, Master
Or he
Chief,
was awake
It's a big
and
risk.
stuck in a suit that wouldn't
but
move.
I'm confident.
I was napping.
Not again.
Emergency
Oh,
generators,
no.
now!
Okay, so
Shielding
Truth
failed. They're
is
down
a
and charging.
covenant
As soon as they're
that
up,
wants to
reestablish
activate
contact with Lord
rings
Hood.
for
Let
religious
him know.
reasons.
All of
Something,
you
right? Oh, is this
vermin,
Truth?
cowering in the dirt, thinking, what? I
think so.
wonder that you might escape the coming fire? No. Your world will
Man's
burn
broadcasting
until
on a
its surface
CRT.
is but glass, and not even your demon will live to creep, blackened from its hole to mar the reflection of our passage, the culmination of our journey. For your destruction is the will of the gods, and I am their instrument.
Have you ever thought about how convenient it is that the entire universe
Loves
speaks
to
English?
run his mouth.
Does he usually mention me?
Don't the Covenant have a translating
order, we're
technology?
closing shop.
I thought that was part of
Ma'am?
the lore.
We're
It
about to
might be.
get
I
hit.
don't know.
All personnel.
The wounded.
defense code Alpha
We're
1,
getting all of them
prepare
out.
for immediate
I
evacuation.
have to carry him myself.
Ma'am, squad leaders are requesting
But
a
yeah,
rally point.
in other
Where should they go?
places, in other IPs, yeah. I think that Halo gave an explanation for it.
To war.
Not that it's
All
a
right.
good explanation, but they gave one. Know
Ready to go be
your
violent?
role.
Perimeter cameras.
Motion trackers?
Careful, we're gonna
They're
scandalize
down or
people.
we're not receiving. Can't tell.
Am I still the Arbiter? Yep, my shadow looks
You
very
are still the
Arbiter-like.
Any of
Arbiter.
our birds squawking?
I like that.
No, ma'am.
I think that's awesome. Well done, Halo 3.
Phantoms closing on our position.
Any birds less than 5 minutes out? Bring them in. Tell everything else to scatter.
Secure perimeter defenses. Okay.
sir. I'll show you the way.
Ooh, weapon?
Base was built for some 20th century war.
All right. I think I have the same weapon.
We can.
I can zoom with this one. That's nice. Oh, and it switched. Oh, secondary
Yeah.
weapons. Let's go.
Yeah, we get to choose our weapons.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I just picked up the two that I walked closest to. But
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with what I got actually. So this is chill.
Boop the snoot. Did
It's
your
crazy
snoot
that we
get
can't
booped?
run,
Point
but
of
we can
entry.
jump
Best
like
assessment.
crazy.
Hangar sergeant.
Well, I
Agreed.
think that
Chief,
we're already
Arbiter,
running.
Get there.
Wait, where? Get where?
We're with you, Chief.
I guess you look kind of runny like, but nah.
I suppose it's like a steady
We'll
jog.
guard the op center, Master Chief. You clear the Covenant out of the hangar.
Yeah, that's it. We're pacing ourselves because you know you're going to be fighting for the rest of your life. So
Yeah. Pace yourself.
I
It's
guess
a
that's true
marathon
about
type
most people
run.
in war. You might be fighting the rest of your life.
That's
Kind of a solemn thought.
sad. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
somber. But it's true. Where in the world? Maybe I'm supposed to go through this store.
Feels like we're supposed to go this way with the green light, but I may be wrong.
Well, I tried that. I'll come
Hold E
follow
to
you.
open door.
Oh, well, it didn't show up. It's not my fault. The
A
game
likely
confused me.
story.
Thanks. I was proud of it. It was a good story.
I decided not to go too much further without you because let's be real, this is hardcore. I wouldn't make it.
You would lose your weapons.
Oh, there's a rat. Oh, hopefully I'll keep starting with these at least.
I don't think you will. I mean, you'll start with some weapons, but I don't think it'll be the ones you chose.
I didn't have anything before that though.
Yeah, I think there's probably some default ones that we're not aware of yet.
Oh, a warthog. Oh, wow, this is a terrible time to dab, friends. Okay.
Dab, dab, dab.
Grenade out, grenade out.
Ah!
Grenade out. They threw a grenade. Watch yourself.
Oh, I felt that one. I just face checked that grenade.
You did? How'd it feel?
Felt like a grenade. Except for the
be
part where it
honest.
didn't fully kill me. I was surprised.
Well, you do have a shield. These human guns are actually pretty effective.
Yeah, the human guns are, when you can get them, they're awesome.
Also, it looks like the AR, I don't know what it's called, but it has like a compass that points to where we're supposed to go. Oh, I like this gun. Okay, I'm sold. I hope I can keep some bullets, but I'm sold. I'm gonna run over every human corpse I see in hopes that they have the right bullets I need.
Oh, that kind of run over.
Yeah. It's I'm giving them their last rounds.
off the deck!
We were just talking to Miranda. It checks out.
Yeah.
Man, I missed the pistol from the first one.
You know what I don't miss from the first one? All of the movement.
Well, fair enough, but everything else was great.
Have you played Halo 4 before? Like, well, what all have you played?
So I'm recognizing scenes, so I clearly have like played through this section, but I don't remember any of it clearly.
Alright.
I don't know the story. I think like Halo 1 is the only one that I solidly know the story. We played through Halo 2 on stream, so technically I saw the story for Halo 2.
The question is, can I blow it up? Looks like it's a no. But I do have a turret. That's nice.
Nice.
Have you ever played the Gears of War games?
I have a tiny bit.
Okay, I enjoyed those. Well, I enjoy 1, 2, and 3. 4 and 5 are okay. Though I do think I'm gonna like E-Day, because it's a prequel. I do think I'm gonna like it.
Gears of War is even more cover shooter, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I would say it's like a run and gun cover shooter.
I definitely prefer games that encourage you to get out from behind cover.
Well, that's how I
little
played
more.
Gears of War. My wife was the strategic one. She played all but 4 and 5 with me. Well, she played some of 4 with me. But she would definitely sit back and like cover me, and I would run in there with a Lancer and go to town.
And then die.
You were right. I started back with alien guns, which is quite annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a human gun. I'll take it. Somehow I'm not dying. That's a nice change.
You're alive! You're a wizard, Ari.
I also have 3 different types of grenades now, so that's dope.
You have a third grenade type.
I do.
What kind of grenade do you have?
I don't know what it's called, and I'm sorry for that, but it looks like a spike. Or like a hammer, kind of.
Okay.
It looks very frag-like to me, but, you know. I don't know if that's what they're calling it.
Oh,
don't have any
now I
bullets
have
in
one
this
of
gun.
those. Yeah, it looks like a anchor or something.
Oh, anchor's a good word. Alright, we're going to a needler, because there's just a million of those guns around, so. Should be plenty of
but
ammo.
I don't like the needler. The needler is fine.
It's okay, yeah, it's fine. That's how I would describe it.
The brutes are pressing hard.
Now that I'm
supposed to-
starting to like get used to the gameplay again, though, it's getting better. Like remembering the game.
Get back to the ops.
To the ops center. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was supposed to get on the ship. Oops.
Oops!
You in that shield.
I pressed shift to run. I scared myself.
You know, I don't think I've even tried to use shift yet. I wonder if I have shields. Maybe I'll try that in actual combat. Oh, what was that? Yeah, deployable cover. You have to pick them up. I see. Here's another one if you want it. If you want to replenish it.
It's fine. That's
Okie dokie.
fine.
Watch, I went through all that to pick up all these things, and we're probably going to get a cutscene.
Probably.
Ooh,
We
I
beat the
will be
level.
swapping for that gun. Hold on. Give me that. Give me. American gun. Give me. Or just human, at least. Wow, it pulled me into this new area right as I picked up the gun. Could not have been more perfect timing. I would have been so upset if I was stuck with that needler, though.
Hostiles reported outside the barracks.
TC, how are you, by the way? Hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah. TC is real sneaky. He comes in like he's part of the conversation immediately.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, this isn't speaking of at all. This is just something I was thinking about. I have not chatted with you on the game plan for tonight's episode of Tangled Christianity. Do you have one?
I continued my research.
Beautiful.
I think I have 2 episodes worth of research.
Oh, poop. I hit shift 2.
Yeah, I know, right? See?
Yeah, I'm
now
sorry.
you understand the pain.
I do understand.
Oh no!
I bet a shield would have been nice right there, wouldn't it have been? Oh my
I
word.
recognize these guys.
Take them down. Short control.
I don't like them. I don't like
I'm gonna try some of these grenades that look like anchors.
on the flying things. I feel like
Yeah,
it's gonna
I think
be
you're
tough.
right. I'm gonna try the needlers. I think it'll stick into them. Yeah, it does. Oh yeah.
Because they auto aim a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of curve to it.
So I'm in and
Oh,
out
I'm down.
today. You're in and out. All right.
I'm doing all right.
I
doing
can be
final
your
essay
spawn
stuff.
point.
I can be your spawn point, baby.
No essay. Well, congrats. Almost there.
A pistol? Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna pistol whip these guys. Let's go down here to where my needler is at.
Needle, needle, needle. Needle, needle, needle. Where are they?
Nice.
I think we won.
All over the ground. Yeah, we did.
Right on
These
time.
things are nasty.
Yeah.
If I try to hook up
And
a timer, it might
obnoxious.
go off all by itself.
All right. Other thing. Ooh, I want this gun.
Chief, have a look.
Yes, sir.
A little
Some
going away
bullets.
gift for the Covenant. We've linked it to smaller charges throughout the base. Johnson, as
Um,
soon as the evacuation is complete,
YouTube.
start the timer.
Thought about
Are
something.
you on YouTube today?
Everyone.
I am streaming on YouTube. Yes, but
Hi, YouTube.
I haven't seen any chat from them. But
Follow me.
no, when it comes to the podcast for YouTube, you chatted with me about the graphics, and I think that looks good. And I thought today, as I was setting up YouTube stream, that I forgot about an artwork that is kind of like a revolving door we have to decide on, and that would be thumbnails. Everything else is good. That's something for every single episode, but yeah.
Yeah, thumbnails are important on YouTube, aren't they?
Yeah, for no other reason than just to differentiate episode 1 from 2 from 3.
You know, I
Like-
tell you what, you probably will not like this. However, my experience is that we hold E to open the door up here. My experience is
Coming.
that, well, my best performing YouTube channel is my Clock Tower channel, and I
Uh-huh.
don't make thumbnails on it. It's
You
still
just do the auto thumb?
Yeah, it outperforms my main channel, my Game of Favorites, even though I haven't uploaded it for a long time.
Interesting.
It's really, yeah.
What are like the lengths of videos?
They're like 2 hours.
Oh wow, so it's a good 1-to-1 comparison to compare it to Game of Favorites.
Yeah, I mean the difference is that Blood on the Clock Tower is a recognized name, broader than my own community.
Fair enough. Crimson Knight actually sent me a sign up for Blood on the Clock Tower. I think he said it was for the 17th, so I might actually be able to do it. Pending. What I'm waiting to find out is the Friday before that, the 16th, is my sister-in-law's high school graduation. And I don't know if we're doing anything that weekend for like a graduation party or anything for her, so I just don't know the plans yet.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know. Even when I'm less busy, I'm busy. But this is a cool thing. As old as it makes me feel, and as much as I kind of wish she wouldn't grow
I'm
up,
dead.
I'm glad that she is grown up.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Ooh. Oh, interesting. It starts me with human guns, probably because I'm a human.
That's my theory. Healing. Throwing grenade myself. Healing.
No!
His life is not forfeit.
Well,
okay, maybe it is.
It is a little bit.
Oh, hammer boy, hammer boy. I'm gonna throw a grenade at him. Oh, now that's nostalgic Xbox gameplay right there. What's up, Whittier?
Hey, Whittier. We
Did we get him? Yes.
We got him.
Should be able to get his hammer if you want it.
Gravity
Oh, you
hammer.
look so stupid carrying it though.
Stupid but epic. Thank you.
Like, I wish you could
Stupid
see
in an
yourself
epic
because
way.
your upper torso doesn't move. You're just like, it looks like you're holding a banner in the Olympics.
You should. I'm not sure if they've
bud.
been mailed yet, which is why I haven't messaged you. But we prepared an envelope for you with stickers, so they
Aw.
should be on the way.
Oh, Peter, he's a sticky guy.
Sticky.
Down the hole. Oh, Cortana says, what up?
Have we been drugged?
Yes. Technically, yes, you have. You've been experimented on as a child for a very
That's
long time.
true. We've been significantly drugged.
Yeah, I've been, like, tortured and whipped. You've been drugged. So,
Yeah.
we've
Wow,
had
we
a
have so
troubled
much in common.
childhood. We
Yeah.
do. My mouth
Welcome to
opens
the
this way,
therapy
yours
session.
opens the other way, you know? You and your up and down mouth.
Your mouth used to open like a normal human? Is that what you're saying? Oh, poor guy.
I don't think it did. I don't know all the lore of the Arbiter, though.
Whoops. I shot
These
you.
brutes are tough, man.
They are.
Like the gold
I
ones.
ran away. I mean, I threw a
Frag.
grenade. Frag out. That's what I meant.
Oh. We both threw frags. Let's go. I don't even know if that's the right phrase. I got frag out because that's what Marcus Phoenix says in Gears of War. He'll say it so grim, too. He's like, frag out. Hey, I'm a sucker for stickers. All right, I'm dead. All right, I'm back.
Welcome
done.
back.
I feel so alive. I just need to learn that the zoom is a toggle, and I don't have to hold it.
Ah. So it is. Oh.
So what do you think? Does this game lend itself well to keyboard and mouse?
I think that it's a imperfect mapping, but keyboard and mouse I think is better for shooters in general.
Yeah, though the auto aim probably would be decent on this, or aim assist, not auto aim. Oh, I got some kind of extra item that looks like a star or a flower. I don't know what it does.
I
though.
got a shotgun.
Hey, shoddy. I will be grabbing a different one. Can I dual wield it? No.
Somebody is upset with us. Oh, there you are.
Probably the people we're shooting at. If I were to guess.
We got visitors. Arbiter, welcome to the...
Whittier, I haven't seen Topaz yet, but I let him know that I have something for him from you. So hopefully I'll be able to get that to him soon.
Good night, sweet prince.
Do you think we should start doing a, we should start doing a poll at the beginning of Tangled Christianity? Do you believe in the true presence or the real presence?
We could.
Engagement bait.
I mean, it would. I think it would. That would tell us more about. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because like, let's say the poll goes one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's like, what would change in the conversation? I don't see it changing the conversation either way.
No, it wouldn't. It would just. It would help. I think it would be one, engagement bait. Two, it would give us an idea of what the majority of our audience like where they are.
That's true.
But honestly, just being completely vulnerably transparent, engagement bait. But I can also do it on Spotify. So like, I could like, we could do it at the beginning of the chat, but I could also attach it on Spotify and people could do a poll.
I see. Yeah, like on Spotify and such, like finding ways for people to interact and encouraging that would be cool to see.
Oops, sorry, I hit the mic that you hear me from. That was loud. I'm dead, and I'm alive.
Welcome back.
Hey! You never knew what hit him.
It was me. I hit him.
Ooh.
I like your weapon.
Plasma turret.
Highly effective. But yeah, if you like Harry Potter, I definitely would recommend, especially knowing what I know about you at this point and the types of games you play, I would definitely recommend Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. I did consider it. To me, it looks like they had an interesting spell casting system.
Yeah.
Like, which doesn't happen often. So often spells feel very, very cheesy in video games, but it looked like they did a good job. At least my perspective.
Yeah, you have like a basic cast, which is kind of like a shooter. It's like your right trigger. But then other buttons that you press while using your basic cast create new spells, and I thought that was really unique. There's also, it's not fully supported yet, but there's a VR mod if you get it on Steam. And like I said, it is not completely fleshed out, but it's pretty cool because, oh man, really? Well, I'm still going up, so I'll take it. Oh gosh, okay. Meet you up there whenever I spawn.
I'm sorry.
I've got movement.
It's just one of the chances it would shut right at, like, it would slice me in two and put that most of me on the outside.
Shake them off, Lieutenant.
Anyway.
Yeah, I thought it would teleport you in right away.
I did too, or I would have thought that. But no, I think it'd be really cool once it gets a little more polished.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. VR in general is interesting.
I got a shotgun. Let's go. I think you're supposed to be able to get up there where they're coming from, but I've never been able to do it. Oh, this shotgun rocks.
I do love shotguns. Oh!
Well, you know, with my play style, I died anyway, but get that fish, Whittier.
Fish, 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 fish.
Whit about to get his fishy. I need to start remembering that I can melee. Or when I'm this close up on like people, it makes a difference.
Yeah, melee is very strong if you get the spacing right.
Yeah. Oh, Pole, melee or melee?
About to get really exciting.
I think melee.
Okay. Oh, I can dual wield that. Let's go. I go back and forth. I'm not sold to one. I don't know how to reload my secondary weapon. Is it F? It's F. Okay.
Oh, right. Because you can't throw a grenade anymore.
That's true.
I've heard it both ways. Is it Gus or Sean? Okay, what are we supposed to do now? Oh.
Great question. Do we need to go down? It looks like we need to go down.
That's weird because we just rode an elevator to go up.
You are correct. We did do that, but didn't we get off?
Whoops.
Up there where the elevator took it? Wait, I see the elevator shaft. You might be onto something. Sean. There's a button. Can you open it? No. I see an open door.
Yeah, let's go that
there.
way. Green shiny
Love
door.
is an
That
open
looks promising.
Door. That was beautiful.
Wow.
That sounded like a million angels.
And we were only 2.
Well, you know, them saints. Take that, angels.
Cloud of witnesses. That's an apologetics.
Oh, I figured out how to get up there. I'm on that thing I said that you can get up on.
You did it.
Well, look at that. I did do it. Whittier, what you catching today? A salmon. All right. Salmon or salmon?
Go! I'll cover you.
Salmon.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to get on top of this thing. But, oh my gosh, I did. Shut up. Let's go.
Are we
What are they
supposed to
shooting
board
at?
the pelican?
I technically did. Oh, and I dropped a weapon for some reason. So something's happening around these parts.
Gamer.
Yeah, I don't
Roots.
have the option to
In
do
the
anything,
center.
do you?
They disarmed the bomb. Sorry, Commander,
Maybe
there
we're
were too
waiting for
many.
plot.
Even for me.
Chief,
Maybe.
get back to the op center. Kill those brutes. We are
Oh,
the bomb.
never mind. They're just
I've gotta
leaving
get
us
these
here.
men out of here. But I'll radio with another exit. Good luck.
That seems like bad military direction. To be like, all right, we're going to leave you 2 guys alone with no support or backup.
We are special guys, though.
I'm not even a guy. I'm a lizard man.
Fine. Then doesn't even matter. I wouldn't cry if we left behind a lizard. Let's be real.
Well, we were enemies last game. I guess that makes sense.
Dang it! I just used invisibility
You're invisible.
by accident. Salmon, because if you say the L, you take an L. Oh.
I like that. Gonna use it. Isn't this the way we went like moments ago?
Do you feel the same way about almonds? There are people that say almonds.
Almonds? Oh,
Mhm.
I
In
didn't mean to
fact, the
shoot it.
people that say almonds
Are wrong.
well, fair enough. The people
Well, I
who
picked
say
up the
almonds are the
regenerator.
people that grow the almonds in
Oh,
Northern
gosh.
California.
Don't stand on the glass. You'll fall through.
Oh.
Hey, I have a direction. It's telling me to go this way.
Finally have that car. I've been promising people cars for so long, and now you gave Trekkie a car. Look at that.
Whoa. Trekkie, you deserve it.
Do you say crayon or crayon? Crown? People say
Crayon.
crown? Yeah, I'm not a.
Oh, I threw the thing. I'm a dummy. The regenerator would have
Say-
kept us healthy, too. I gotta quit hitting shift.
I know, right?
I think I'm gonna end up
Me
mapping
too.
it to, like, tab or something, so I don't just bump it.
You will be the protectors of Earth and all her colonies.
Are you also drugged with memories of Cortana?
I am, and that's crazy because I don't even know Cortana. Right now, I'm really freaking out. I'm like, what's this blue lady? Why do I keep seeing her? You gonna break it off there? Of course you are.
That's right. I'm a monster.
He said Master Chief's a manly man.
I say almond with the L, but the L is pronounced softly. Softly. Soft kitty, warm kitty.
This is surprisingly working.
If you were marketing a 3-in-1 shampoo, what's the third thing your shampoo would do?
3-in-1 would be, I guess, shampoo, body wash, and conditioner.
Oh. Whoops, sorry.
Have
Hit
you
the
come across a
microphone.
3-in-1?
No, I'm just making conversation. I would.
You make interesting conversation, buddy. I'm on my way.
I would have the third thing be whisper sweet nothings into my ear at night.
Only
I'm
at
dead.
night? So if you take a shower during the morning, it's like, I don't
What?
get paid enough for this.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Can you imagine?
Am I going the wrong way? I think I am. Oopsie.
You might be.
I think the whole thing would be weird if I imagined it. And what would the
Yeah,
sweet
but-
nothings be? Like, you smell pretty. Like, what would you say?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great marketing success. Do you doubt?
I can't wait till the formula gets changed, like cosmetic brands tend to do, and then all of a sudden it's like, you got a pretty mouth, boy. And that's what it says.
These sniper dudes are annoying.
Agreed.
All right, sniper gets sniped.
Sniper, no sniping. Dora, 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 the explorer, or Peter, 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 the
Pumpkin.
What
eater?
rhymes with Peter? No! Negative! Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, you can press the button, but I couldn't press the button. Probably because
Really?
of my... Yeah, it didn't let me press it. Maybe player 1 is who actually moves us forward.
Oh, jeez. There's a tank. A plasma cannon.
Oh, no, I got hurted.
I got more than hurted. Yep.
I also am now hurted more than hurt.
Oh, boy. Oh, my
I restarted with
gosh.
this turret. That's amazing. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I can't push the button to get in there with you. Wait, yes, now I can. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I just have to be close enough. Peter has parted hair. It's a natural part. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Peter, Peter, here. See, Peter? There we go. I like it better.
Ooh.
You like that? You like that?
It makes me sound like I'm always right. I'm all right with that.
Well, if you're always right, then you would be all right.
It's true. It's true. Your hair is long enough to part again. Sounds
Hello, Mel.
Hit the switch, Chief. Arm that
I have been, I guess, it's been a little while, but it feels like in my old age that your hair grew back quite quickly.
Bombs armed.
We got your
It's been
exit.
a few months.
Service elevator in the hangar.
This was back in like
Head downstairs
February, I
through the
think.
caves.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I
find the
know.
elevator in the hangar.
I recognize that it's been a while, but it doesn't, at the same time, it kind of doesn't feel like it.
Bad guys!
Bad guys, we're not a bad guy. I'm a misunderstood guy. Oh, well,
You're
yes,
the
I'll take
bad
that.
guy.
Shotgun. Give me that shotgun. There we go. Where did you go, 711 or 117? There you are. I am dropping frames like crazy. I did try to turn the, the enhanced mode on to get a better or higher frame rate, but I'm thinking I should have just played it original. I don't know what you did, but
I didn't do anything with graphic settings.
I might change
But
it.
I'm also not streaming, so...
Well, I'm streaming, but from a completely different computer, so that shouldn't
then-
matter.
Yeah. Accurate. Where are we supposed to go? There's a green door this
So
way.
there's an elevator that we have to get to, or we'll die.
Yeah, but it not dying very fast. Is it this way?
Looks promising. Oh, there's that blue lady again.
Ah!
I would be real freaked out if I didn't know what your past was, and a blue lady just showed up and was like, there'll be lots of hardship ahead.
Yeah, that's valid. Why is she showing up at all?
I don't know.
Oh, they're all running.
I need a better gun, yo.
They're just running away from the bomb. That makes sense.
They will still shoot, though.
Leave us alone, blue
Maybe the little
lady.
jittery thing I'm feeling is supposed to be happening.
Oh, yeah, I think it's... I think the base is shaking.
Hey, Father Trekkie. I have a feeling that Trekkie's not really your name, but also I don't want to assume. Because I really like the idea of Father Trekkie. Like, that's just what you get called at Mass. And so I'll be really pleased if you're like, actually, Trekkie is my name, and people call me Father Trekkie, because that's just kind of awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't correct you.
Oh, do you know Trekkie's?
You know what?
identity.
His name is Father Trekkie.
Docs. Do we convince Webby there is a Saint Trekkie that Father Trekkie is named after?
Yeah. There's Saint Trekkie.
Wait, or do priests take on saints, like saintly names?
No, but most
think so, okay.
Christians are named. Most Christian names are like names that there was a saint of before these days.
Yeah, we're
You know,
so
like
original. Why don't we make up a new name?
Because you want to be named after somebody, of course.
But why?
Because I don't know. What do you want to be named?
Will become your home.
Well, you know, since I have one of those ancient Hebrew names as well, let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would be completely unique and original.
Pumpkin.
This place
But with an
will
A,
become your
pumpkin.
This
Not
place will
pumpkin.
become your tomb. That was dramatic.
Confirmation name
that.
shrug. Leave us alone, Blue Lady. That's all I'm saying. I have actually had people call me Father Trekkie IRL. So, I mean, I didn't know what to do when we went to Reach. I legitimately just asked Trevor. I was like, so, like, are we, like, calling each other our gamer tags or our names? Like, what are we doing? I became, like, Jonathan Webby. I wanted to try to do, like, a Tyler Ninja Blevins type thing, but my name doesn't really work with it. It doesn't sound nearly as cool as Tyler Ninja Blevins.
Yeah. I think this is where we call it. We just finished a chapter.
Yeah, seems like a good spot. Knowing our luck, we won't survive the next 20 minutes to make it to a new chapter.
Well, the chapters are long. Like, we got through 2 chapters today.
Oh, whoa. That's honestly better than I would have anticipated because we didn't get through chapters that quickly with Split Fiction, which is crazy.
It's true. True.
And I'm pretty sure we played that more on like an easy mode. Well, you may have struggled to figure out how to get me to join your party, but you were very good at kicking me from it. So,
Well, I just exited
bravo.
the game.
That did it. It was like I got this weird notification that said P. Tony doesn't want to be your friend anymore.
P. Tony is saying things about you while you're not listening.
That
That's what it
snack
says.
has expired. Remember how I tried to stream it? Now I have this ad that says, discover your next favorite game by upgrading to Ultimate. I just don't see a reason for Ultimate. I have an Xbox Series X that I don't turn on. I've thought about it just so that I could play Oblivion more comfortably without having to move my computer in the living room or anything. But man, $20 a month.
I think for
something I really
casual
really-
gamers, I think the math does add up and could make a lot of sense for casual gamers to stream their video games off the cloud, because then you don't have to invest in your own hardware. That's got to be cheaper than building your own PC, getting a console.
Certainly.
But because a lot of people believe that their gameplay is precise enough where milliseconds will matter, I don't think it will catch on anytime soon. So yeah, that's what I think.
I am
You caught
trained-
P. Tony. That's terrifying. Wait, what?
What? Oh, I pulled your head up big, so it's covering the fish. LOL. Yeah, I could see that. I'm trying to train myself to not care so much about like resolution. The Steam Deck trains me a little bit for that because the resolution's low, but it looks not bad when it's only 8 inches. So
Sure.
Anyway, I've been trying to train myself there because games like Kingdom Hearts is a little on the edge, but like these turnstile battle mechanics and things where you really don't have to be all that, cutting edge, frame rate high kind of thing to play. Like if I want to play traditional Final Fantasies, streaming is a great option for that. So I hit the wrong thing.
Anything that's turned like Slay the Spire or a lot of puzzle games. I even played Ghost Runner on Amazon streaming services. What's it called? Luna?
Yeah.
Like this was a couple years ago.
Was it
So
when they
I
first
would
came out? Because I got like an invitation for it, and I got in when it was like $4.99 a month, and I ended up eventually canceling it because I never used it. But man, that grandfathered price was awesome.
Yeah. No, so I don't know if this is still the case, but at least at the time, Prime users would get access to 4 games at a time, and it would like
Yes.
rotate every month.
It wasn't that way at the time, but they added it. And then I had the family one, which is the one that I got for like $4.99, which was okay. It was what I cared most about. I played like Devil May Cry, which was the family one, which was weird. At that time, I don't think it's there anymore. All right, I'm gonna get my virtual camera going for you. All right, Mr. Whittier redeemed Everybody Wants It, so I'm gonna let that keep playing before I go over to the podcast side. I know you can't hear it, but I'm just jamming.
I hear your chair squeaking as you're jamming, just like little
Is
tiny
it squeak?
squeaks.
Oh, it
Not
does.
much.
I need to oil that.
That's just the tiniest bit. Yeah.
All right. That should pull us all over. Oh, I'm so blurry. Why am I so blurry on the thingy? I'm going to refresh it.
All right, my stream title today, Acts 29.
Can Christians eat blood? Acts 29. Sounds amazing. I'm going to refresh real quick on Stream Together and see if that helps, because I'm getting a network issue detected. I'm going to see if I can fix it. BRB. That does seem to have made things better. So, all right, let me update my title then. Can Christians eat blood?
Yeah.
That's kind of the...
I mean, yeah, that is what we're talking about.
That's kind of it, yeah.
I don't expect... Like, I prepared notes on Acts, and then I also have notes on Luke, but I don't expect to get to Luke today.
I actually think that's a great one, because I don't like the idea of every title being like, the Eucharist this, the Eucharist that. This obviously is going to involve the Eucharist, but you're right. It's pretty concisely about eating blood.
Yeah.
So tonight's topic, Christians eat blood, not the Halo Master Chief Collection. This is Tainted Christianity.
Okay, I need to go investigate why the dogs are crying. Like,
oh, do your thing. You're good. I'm updating titles. All right, KC Trekkie, what's up? I don't know if Peter ever engaged share chat. Is Peter live? Oh, let's look. Did Peter go live yet? Twitch.tv/Peter Tony. Peter Tony. Let's see. Because he's certainly... I have enabled the share chat. Has Peter? Seems like he has not. He is live, but he has not. I see you over there, Trekkie, in his chat. I'm going to comment there. Wouldn't it be nice if there was share chat? And I'm going to do it with music notes. Here we go. This is just for Peter's chat here. All right. Feel free to copy and paste what I sent here and spam him with it. What up, Bubble Butt? How's it going? I'm just reading both chats now, but that's okay. Also, we're live at YouTube as well. Audio has done weird things for Peter's stream in the past. So if you end up having a weird experience, we actually do this in 3 different spots. At the URL you're currently watching on, twitch.tv/ptony. Also at twitch.tv/webbypumpkin. And over on YouTube in a vertical format at youtube.com/webbypumpkin. So that's the 3 places. That's the 3 places that you can find us. I'm going to grab probably a sparkling water, and we'll be good to go. Hey, Peter, you can probably hear me again.
Hi, I can hear you again.
If you want to hit that share chat button, I'll be able to talk to those beautiful people over in your community.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if you're cool with it, I'm gonna run and grab I just got these lime sparkling waters. They're trying to be healthier, you know me. I may go grab one. Also, your green screen is showing.
You're correct. Thank you. I'll work on
You're
that.
welcome. I got you. I'm gonna let you entertain. I'll BRB.
Chat, if you had to entertain somebody for $1 million. Oh, there's a video that I didn't finish watching. Hold on. Congrats, Bubble. You're first. How do you like the title, everybody? It's kind of a provocative title. Tell dad jokes. I'm not good at those. I'm sorry. That didn't go very well at all. I'd probably do a silly, interpretive dance. It's a title. It sure is. Instead, he put us in agile. That's right. That's right. Well, you're immune. You should be fine. Tonight on Tangled Christianity, going to be talking about Acts 29. Can Christians eat blood? I'm immune for now. I'm here. You're here. Where do I keep my... Thank you for the hose ad. I don't have a law. Where in the world? Oh, these dogs, I swear. Welcome back. Oh, Trekkie. Thank you for the gifted sub. I'm trying to find... I have no idea where it is. All right. The dogs are barking again. Give me a second.
Well, look at there. He left as soon as I got back. I guess it's my turn to entertain. Hello, everyone. Bubble Butt, tell me the story behind your name. I want to know it. I feel like there's a story that needs to be shared with all of us. How is everyone? Peter said, Tag, you're it. Let's go. That's awesome. Well, guys, you're not going to be able to see it too well because I have a green screen. But I got these lime sparkling waters. I'm going to be honest with you. It tastes kind of like water had a dear friendship with lime. And now they are unfortunately not they both went away to college and their life just took them different directions. That's pretty much what it tastes like. But it's good. It is pretty good. I cannot deny that truth. So, hey, he can't hear me. All right. I'm going to wait to the very last moment when he puts his headphones in because that's when he'll be able to hear me again. And that is why I just adore P. Tony. Yep, that's why.
Do you have the graphics for Tangled Christianity? I misplaced them.
Let's see the one that I have. I just did some cleanup in my downloads folder. So let's see. I think I might have what you had sent me. Hold on. I'm got you. I got this.
What sorts of heresies are we discussing today? Do you know what heresy is trending right now?
Modalism. I don't know, actually.
You're 100% correct.
Whoa! That's a good... I just guessed. It was just a guess.
Are you familiar at all with the Oneness Pentecostals?
Only kind of in name. I have heard that name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a great deal about them. I do know, based off of the current conversation, that they hold to a modalist perspective of the Trinity. And recently they've recently they've had a lot of. There's a choir from a Oneness Pentecostal group that did a rendition of John 1:1 that's like super epic and sounds amazing, and so people are jamming out to it. Um, and then people are saying, and then people are arguing about the Trinity in the comments.
That's how. Isn't that what the Lord intended when He left this church?
For sure, man.
Oh, I left my notes. Apparently, I'm so backwards. This time I have my Bible, but I left my notes on the counter in the other room. Usually it's the other way around. I mean, I'll be using them. There's that at least. Or
That
maybe
is
they're
good.
just in there.
That is good.
I feel they're actually just in the other room, like right here next to me. Boom! Look at there. Look at that. I'm ready.
Look at that.
So prepared.
I have a Bible that is the study Bible basically just stays here at my computer. When I'm on the go, I take this one, which isn't the full Bible. It's just the New Testament and the Psalms, which for like taking around and praying is all that I usually use. Right, it works fine. Old love, shalom, me homie. How you doing? Welcome in.
Shalom, me homie. I like that a lot. Gonna use that in my daily vernacular. Shalom, me homie. That's amazing. All right, I'm basically super prepared again. Look at me go. Yep.
Amazing.
Also, you may have already seen it, but I sent both of those pieces of art to you in Discord.
I did see that. Thank you. I'm putting it in my tweet.
I need to do a better job about tweeting when I go live and do cool stuff.
I'm not doing a great job at it. We'll be honest.
Well, you're doing it today, so you're better than I did it today. We'll hold hands on this. You tweet about it, I'll stream it to YouTube, and that's how we'll continue to cast wide nets.
That's perfect. To have a compact Bible, I find those good for long trips. They tend to fit well in smaller pockets. I mean, it's this
pretty
big.
Compact.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the whole Bible. And the font, but that also means that the font is. I heard one is Pentecostal and immediately.
I'm definitely going to look into this whole Oneness Pentecostal thing, though, because it is kind of new to me. Just to have a better idea of what we even talk about. Maybe I'll put that over here in my side notes. That's actually exactly what I'm going to do. Or Pentecostal in general might be the one that I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Waffles. Oh, it's good to see you. You're really blurry on my side. Let me try refreshing.
I just got blurry as well. Weird.
Oh,
you look good,
it might
but
be a you thing.
It might be because I see it blurry on my like on the screen that I'm recording from. What is up with that? All right, let's see if that helps anything. Seems to be better for me. Hopefully it's better for you.
It is better.
Good deal.
John 8:17 to 18. Your light is written that the testimony of two men is true. I bear witness to myself, and the Father who sent me bears witness to me. You're saying that shows that the oneness, the modalism idea doesn't make sense. I agree. I got locked out of Twitch forever, but it's finally fixed. Oh, really?
Forever is over.
Congrats. That's a short forever. That works out. Waffles is a streamer. Actually, you would probably enjoy talking to Waffles. Waffles used to stream on Twitch and didn't make much headway over here. And was asking for advice, and I never had any good advice that I could give him. He's a great guy. Waffles is now streaming on YouTube, and Bubble has been telling me about how the numbers are doing much better. Like there's a whole community forum.
Good deal.
Streaming on YouTube. So that's awesome to hear. I'm so happy for you, Waffles.
That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that.
Tony is quite
Waffles,
a bit lower.
Let's see. Tony's got a bit lower. I'm trying to see where that came from, so I know where if you're lower for me or lower on you.
Well, I'm not playing. I'm only playing audio through the browser. So whatever Twitch stream together is getting is what I'm piping out.
Yeah. But if you're the one lower, it's whatever Twitch is getting from you. I don't know. It seems like it's not a perfect 1-to-1.
Well, we're both taking the stream together browser, right?
We are
using that for our audio, I thought.
Yep, we are. But even like last week, you were Roboty, and using the same thing that I was using, and I wasn't. So people came over here. So that's why it seems like while we're doing the exact same thing, it's not always a perfect 1-to-1. So I don't know. Waffles got major hacked. Waffles, do you stream vertical to YouTube or are you horizontal? I'm actually currently doing this vertical on YouTube as well right now. Oneness Pentecostalism is a branch of Pentecostal Christianity that believes in one God who manifests in 3 ways: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, rather than 3 distinct persons. They're also known as the Jesus-only movement because they believe the only real person in the Godhead is Jesus.
All right, I boosted my gain a little bit right now.
Does that sound different? Yeah, you're coming through hot.
Is it too hot?
I don't think so. I'm actually quite happy with it.
Okay,
it's going to take me a second to get used to it, but it's fine. I could see if you got like right in the mic, you might peak, but.
Webby, have you used shampoo today?
It's interesting that you got right in the mic, but then you chose to speak softer.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to hurt your ears.
I appreciate that. But as far as a test goes, you were like, let's whisper. Like an ASMR channel. We're just gonna.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt people's eardrums. I'm sensitive to that. Made a huge difference. Many days I have 100+ viewers at once. The only downside is it's so hard to stream games with limited space. Wow. You also put out video essays, right, on video games? Like you have edited videos as well, which I think if you're going to stream on YouTube, you have to do both.
Yep. Have to have some kind of VOD content.
Okay, Whittier, is this... Wait, who is... No, Wolf, is the volume discrepancy better or anybody else? Beep, boop. P. Tony is now a robot. Am I a robot?
Not to me.
Why? All right, am I still a robot over on my channel?
So the volume might be you being a robot. Yeah. Volume is good. And volume is coming from my URL, so we're good there.
All fixed. Okay. So refresh the browser when I'm a robot, I guess. It's so weird, man. I don't understand.
Hopefully we won't have any more hiccups with it.
There's other robot sounds that come up. Eugen suggested that there might be a discrepancy between the sample rate of my microphone and OBS, and that might cause problems periodically. But when I checked the settings, it looked like they lined up. So I don't know what to say.
And I would say that, like, well, you and I are using the same mic, but we kind of are. But we're kind of not. Yeah, I'm using an interface, so. Now, if you had an interface and you were coming out of the XLR, I would expect them to act exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. One day we'll get an interface.
That's okay. That's the beauty of this microphone. I'm glad you took the bite because it is upgradable. Or if you brought it with you to reach, I could bring my little portable recorder that you can't see that I'm trying to bring over here.
Oh, we could do our live.
Yep. Wait, and then I don't have to pack all these mics. I mean, I could pack 2 mics. You know, I could pack that one and this Shure one. But these are so easy to just bust out. I'll even hold it like a handheld sometimes. And you
Okay.
have the same mic. Like, we literally could just run 2 XLRs into
And
it.
I'm planning on streaming Game of Favorites that weekend anyway, so I should be bringing my mic.
Oh,
I don't
we got
know,
plans,
Webby
man.
Pumpkin. Can I ask for a blurb about Webby? Yeah, real quick. Webby is a pumpkin and a spider. No, Webby is a Christian streamer that I know through the Reach community. I don't know if you know the Reach community. There's a whole bunch of Christian streamers that are networked together in Reach. And in fact, we were just talking about going to the conference that's going to be in November. So we're both Reach creators. We connected a lot. Going down to the Reach community, the conference last year, I was like a little bit nervous being the Catholic walking into a Christian space. But Webby was one of the people that I was really looking forward to hanging out with. And I think that was good instincts. Webby's just been a real charm to talk to. I'm Catholic and he's Protestant. We disagree on things. That's fine. But we were able to have good conversations about it. A lot of fun streams, various things. Used to be a Fortnite main, just finished Kingdom Hearts. What's next on your docket?
It's still more Kingdom Hearts. We're going to start Kingdom Hearts 2 on Thursday, and we're pretty much playing through all of Kingdom Hearts this month, and then of course Halo 3 with you every Tuesday.
We can watch a live show of Tangled Christianity at Reach.
I've been pushing for it. I've been like, Peter, you want to do it?
I think that if there is a big enough, like if there is a reason to do it, then we can do it. I don't think we have to do it. Like, I'm not going to corner us into that, but like if there's a demand for it, I would love to. I would like there to be a demand before. Webby and I will almost certainly record something together in person.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll do it with an audience or not. That will really depend on, well, whether that makes sense.
I'm definitely bringing a camcorder, at least, well, probably 2 cameras and 2 microphones and an interface. So even if it's just audio, I can record it, or I can run both XLR straight into my camera, and we can just do one camera and actually sit by each other and talk about this stuff. I'm prepared to corner you in whatever way. So,
all right,
Mr. Whittier Jones demands it.
Demand it. Could be a lot of fun.
Well, Peter, do you have your timer ready for us this week? Because I think it was actually quite helpful last time.
Yeah, we almost used it.
We almost did. Let's stick to it today. We got this. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a timer right there. It refreshes, right? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good.
Well, if you're ready, I'll hit start and we will jump into what we're talking about tonight.
All right. Waffle, do you want to answer Waffle's question real quick? We're going to transition to podcast mode, where we won't be as chatty with chat. We're going to be much more focused on the topic, although we'll be circling back to your questions by the end. But yeah, let's address that first, because otherwise you'll have to wait 45 minutes.
Yep. Well, 2 things. Bush Concepts on YouTube also says when and where. Reach Conference, Orlando, Florida, November. As a matter of fact, you can use !Reach in the chat to learn more, get more information, as well as a link directly to the page. And you can use code Webby or code PTony to save $10 for the first 100 tickets. And those are selling out pretty quick. So if you want to get your ticket, you can still save $10 if you use one of those 2 codes.
I realized that I thought it was the first 100 tickets for each creator, but it's the first 100 tickets for all of us together.
I thought that makes more sense too when I think of how much money they're giving, like they're taking off. But yeah, I thought it was per creator also, and it's not.
Yeah.
So,
hi Squire, good to see you. Do you want to? Waffle says, perfect person to ask. I've never played Kingdom Hearts and know absolutely zero about it. Is it worth going back and playing, or is it just as good to just watch the story via streams or YouTube?
I didn't like it at first, but I ended up enjoying it more as I went along. I don't think it would be enjoyable to go back and play Kingdom Hearts on the PS2, but there is a HD 1.5 Final Mix is what it's called. And actually, it's a full bundle that you can get for a relatively good price. that gives you the PS3 version or remaster of Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as the PS3 remaster of Kingdom Hearts 2, and all of the handheld games up until you get to like Dream Drop and everything. It goes on sale on Steam a lot. I got it for $30, so that's 6 games for $30. That's what I'm playing. This is why I think you need to use it. It gives you camera controls on the right stick. You didn't have any camera controls for that game on the PS2 originally, so that alone is the reason to play that version. If you do that, I think it's a good enough time. Everyone keeps telling me that Kingdom Hearts 2 has better mechanics and better combat though. So, maybe play that one. Also, Bush Concepts would like to know if you have your YouTube chat up, Peter,
Oh,
because if not, he's requesting 3 Hail Marys.
yeah, I got you. Let me pull up the YouTube chat. I should do that. Are you're on Webby Pumpkin right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah,
Okay,
and we
got
might go live. If we initiate this channel, I could just switch out my vertical URL for the new channel. We could stream live there each week if
Hi,
you
Bush.
wanted.
He owns the Hail Marys. Yes, they belong to me. All right.
Well, I am ready if you're ready, my friend. Thank you all, chat. We will be reading and watching your chat, but like Peter said, we're a little less on top of it as we talk about this discussion, and we usually save a little bit of time at the end to come back and cycle back to a couple of chats. So hang out with us.
That's right. All right. Good. It's good to
Well,
see you, Waffles. So good to see you. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Starting in 3, 2. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Tangled Christianity, the podcast where we're going to talk about whether or not it is okay for Christians to consume blood. I bet that's what everybody wanted on their 2025 docket. Mark it off. You got bingo. That's what we're talking about tonight. And if you want to know why, well, I'm going to make that easy. We do this every Tuesday, and we have a catalog of every podcast episode that you can find on Spotify. And it should be starting to pop up on Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and pretty soon Apple Podcasts once Apple gives me my account back, because Apple be appling. You guys understand. Also potentially coming to YouTube, but we will see. Everything is there. We've been talking about the Eucharist and whether or not Jesus's body and blood are actually truly present or physically present in that sacrament, in the sacrament of the Eucharist. I am a Protestant. My name is Webby. I'm joined by this handsome fella to the depending on who you're watching, to the right or the left of me. P. Tony, our Catholic connoisseur. Is that the right word? I don't know. Maybe I should let you introduce yourself, friend.
No, you're doing fine. I'm distracted by tech problems. Just when you counted us down, chat told me that I sounded like a robot. We sounded like a robot, but it's better now. This better. Thank you, Twitch, for making a reliable service that only breaks once every 45 minutes. Appreciate that.
Or at least once a week on Tuesdays.
Oh, jeez. Robot again? Oh, my gosh. That's
Luckily,
so weird.
we record on the Webby Pumpkin channel, and you sound just as good as you always do here, Peter. So if that alleviates some of the stress for you.
You remember when we were talking about resolution and bit rate and all those different things for, other projects, right?
Yeah.
And I've experimented with changing those settings, and all my other streams have not had problems. Maybe somehow it's throwing Tangled Christianity off because like sound is coming through differently. It's weird though. I mean, I don't know.
That would be interesting to like investigate, and then also look at the Twitch Together settings, because I think you can change performance settings within the Twitch Together settings too. So there might be something that you can like optimize there. It might, it's settings performance. I don't know what yours looks like, but that might help. Like I said, you sound fine to me though, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's some issue happening between your browser source and OBS.
Interesting. Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird. I have it on 900p, which is also what my OBS canvas looks like. So I don't Whatever, it's fine.
I
Audio
have
be
mine at
audio.
720p. Like that
You
is
do?
lower than that is lower than what my stream is, but I'm also cropped down on stream, so
It's
I
true.
think it's fine, and it helps out the smoothness of video a lot from what I've seen. See, I'm
Oh.
transmitting 720.
All
We
right,
might have found our difference.
I'll change it to 720 real quick. Boop.
Cool.
Boop boop. Let's see if it does anything. All right. Well, cool. This is not what we were planning on talking about today.
Nope. This is just part of a live podcast, friends. I'm so glad you're here, and those of you who are here every week live, and you help us, one, to make this a better production every time, but two, you also put up with us. Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. And yeah, we have a great community. We really do.
I agree. All right, Peter, the issue on the table: can Christians eat blood?
It's so metal. Wow. Great. That's a good question.
I
so
can
this
intro into why I even asked too, because a couple weeks ago, 2 episodes ago, I was giving just some thoughts on why it might be possible. A reasonable reading would be that of the scripture would suggest that when Jesus talks about his body and his blood, it's not actually physically his body and his blood, but it's something a bit more symbolic and obviously just as important, but something a little bit more symbolic. One of the reasons I gave for that was the idea that if Jesus partook himself in that first giving of the cup, giving of the bread, well, then he would be breaking Old Testament law. And for him to be perfect, since he is a Jew, he can't sin and be also our sacrifice. Peter's been doing a lot of great research so that we can have that conversation, and so I'm going to let him speak for the most part tonight, and then I'll just be here to answer questions or press in and go, and we'll just have a dialogue. Kind of think of it like your daily or your weekly Catholic Protestant Bible study.
We all need those.
Yeah.
I don't have time for tangents, but that reminds me, there's been a trend on Twitter. There's a lot of beef between allegedly cradle Catholics and convert Catholics right now. I don't know if you've come across that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably started when people started speculating about who should be Pope and all the rest. But some cradle Catholics are giving, at least this is my perspective on it, probably biased but some cradle Catholics are giving convert Catholics a hard time for being too into their faith and not knowing what the culture is supposed to be like. And so they, like, some of their criticisms are things like, we don't do Bible studies. Excuse me, what? So
what?
These so-called cradle Catholics, I think are not practicing. I think that's really what's going on. But they're very proud of their cultural heritage and don't want other people messing it up. Like, all right, listen, if you want to love your faith, I'm all for that. Actually love your faith though. Like, you can't. It's such a mess.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah. It's wild, man. So yeah, if you're Catholic, you should read your Bible. That's what the church says. Goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, great. So speaking of Bibles, one of the verses that you brought up in your argument the other week, thank you again for sending me all those verses as a package,
You're welcome.
was Acts 15:29.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just start by reading that. For it has seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things, that you abstain from what has been sacrificed to idols, and from blood, and from what is strangled, and from unchastity. If you keep yourselves from these, you will do well. Farewell. Yeah, cool, sweet. That's the translation that I have. I forget which translation this is, but I think that it's, well, I don't anticipate any differences on translation points. So your argument, as I understand it, as pertains to this passage, this is again like just a segment of your larger argument about Eucharist here. Apostles here are presenting what is necessary and only limit themselves to 4 things. One of these things is abstaining from blood. So abstaining from blood is clearly very important, even in the New Testament, and we are bound by it today. Therefore, Jesus would not give us true blood to eat, so the Eucharist must be a symbol.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think I also like this piece of scripture for me hinges also on Leviticus 17:10-12, which we don't have to like go directly to right now. But like I see everything you said is exactly what I view, like is my view right now. The Jerusalem Council specifically even say like these are the things that we felt would be the most necessary. Like this is what we're going to tell you. And they also align with Leviticus 17:10-12, which says, I will set my face against anyone that eats blood. None of you may eat blood, nor any foreigner residing among you. And so that, Jesus couldn't have eaten it. And it seems like we also still can't.
Yeah. No,
Go ahead.
I see your point. Leviticus is definitely related. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, sweet, cool. So my dispute, thank you for following, Jack. That was over on your side,
Thanks,
I believe.
Jack.
That's awesome.
It was, but thank you all the same.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so sorry, but for whatever reason, this past week when I've been researching, there's been so many like tangents that are all kind of important, but they're all like really big, and so it's been really difficult to figure out what threads to chase down and what threads to not. So my brain has been swimming in thread. We're mixing analogies here. However, you understand.
It's Tangled.
Yeah, exactly. I might be fittingly a little scatterbrained today. But ultimately, I'm going to just argue against you a little bit. It'll be fine.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So kind of like a question that I would bring up in responding to this is, does this list, if what this list proves is that these are the 4 things that are necessary, that are very important, does this list prove too much? It's an odd list. Like if we're trying to if we're imagining that the apostles are coming together and they're trying to summarize down their list to 4 necessary things, the 4 things that they chose were: don't eat what's sacrificed to idols, don't eat blood, don't eat strangled animals, and live chastely.
Yep.
So they do use the word necessary. They say, it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things. So, I mean, unless I want to contradict the Bible, of course, I'm going to affirm that these things are in some way necessary.
Right.
But I've got 2 questions. What kind of necessary? And also the scope of necessary. Necessary for who? First, what kind of necessary? Perhaps this is necessary for salvation. Perhaps it's what's necessary to be a Christian in good standing. If so, like, I think those are kind of the readings that first jump out to me. But how did these things, if that's the case, then how did these things make the cut before, for example, repent and believe in Christ, or be baptized, or love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself? If these are the 4 most necessary things, then I mean, like, I don't think that's true to how the rest of the gospel, how the rest of the New Testament speaks. I think they can be good things to do. And they might be necessary in some sense, but I don't think they can be what is necessary for salvation. I don't think they can be what is necessary to be considered a Christian in good standing, because those other things that I just mentioned, repenting and believing in Christ, being baptized, loving the Lord with all your heart, soul, and strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself, I would put all those 3 things over and above these 4.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And I would too. Oh, I totally would too. I think that this is not an exclusion of it is these four things that are necessary only, but that for the Gentile believers in Jerusalem, did I say that right? Yes, Jerusalem. That these are things that are now given that are also necessary. I think the more necessary list that you just quoted is what we would expect from anyone that we would consider to be believers, like be a union. So that's already what this group of people are. It could be understood. Okay, well, you have accepted Jesus. You've been baptized. Like you are believers. You're already in this church. You're just Gentile believers. Now we have, in concordance with the Holy Spirit, have found it good to not give you a whole laundry list of things, but these four that are necessary for you. I just can't. I mean, and it's possible that something might be necessary for these Gentile believers, which we would kind of be, or these people in Jerusalem that it may not be necessary for other Christians, but that seems unlikely to me in this instance that that this would be unnecessary to anyone outside of Jerusalem as well, especially since we see like a callback, if you will, to a Levitical or Mosaic law. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me keep pushing before
Please
I
do.
give my own lens of how I look at this list after researching.
Okay.
That was talking about necessary and in what kind of necessary are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Pushing, like, I think that still is a little bit up in the air. And the second thing is necessary for who? Is this a list of things that are necessary for all Christians? If we say yes, then that means that it is necessary for all Christians to do the first thing on the list, abstain from what is sacrificed to idols.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul says in Corinthians that it is licit for Christians to eat food sacrificed to idols. That's in 1 Corinthians 8, like famously. That is one of the famous things he talks about. He talks about how it can cause scandal and that we should avoid it. But if it won't cause scandal, then it is fine for us to eat food that has been sacrificed to idols. So if we're saying that this is a list of 4 things that all Christians are obliged to follow, and then later Paul says that one of these things we are not all obliged to follow, then we have just put 2 passages of scripture in direct opposition to each other, in my view.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That is interesting. I mean, I'm almost interested to like go look at Corinthians, because it's more than just putting these 2 pieces of like scripture in opposition. It's putting more than that, because we're putting Acts, which I think can't necessarily. I mean, there must be an answer. Like, I'm agreeing with you. These 2 things can't be in opposition. But we'd also be putting what Paul's writing to the Corinthians in oppositions with, with Leviticus 17, 18, like what the same requirements that were given to, or similar, if you will, requirements that were given to, God's chosen people, which we're, grafted into, or that we're adopted into. So,
Sure.
So yeah, let's dive into that a little bit, because that's interesting. I'm not convinced that it seems that Leviticus and Acts 15 are corroborating themselves. So there must be some. It seems to me that I should look for something that's different in Corinthians.
Possibly. Let me follow up on what you said.
Okay.
Another part of Acts, I don't have the reference on me right now, but another part of Acts is the point where Peter gets a vision, where he sees all these animals laid before him, and an angel says, "Take and eat," and he says, "No, never has anything unclean ever entered my lips."
Right.
And then he's told that that do not call unclean what the Lord has made clean.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing grossly here, I apologize. But
that is the gist.
Yeah. So to my understanding, like, there is at least that very clear example of there are some things that that the Jews were obliged to follow that we as Christians are not obliged to follow.
Yes.
So even though the Old Testament does say, for example, pig is unclean and thou shalt not eat of it, the New Testament says you can eat pig now.
Yeah.
So I think like that puts us in a tricky spot of like there are going to be some things in the Old Testament that I just expect, not that we should be frivolous about this, but there are going to be some things in the Old Testament that don't apply in the same way in the New Covenant. And you know, I'm not haven't at all proven that blood is one of those things for sure. But this is a pattern that I think is very explicitly stated in the New Testament, and so should be something that we consider as a possibility whenever we're talking about Old Testament law.
I think what we have to look at is, you know, you're absolutely right. There are things that traditionally would make you like ceremonially clean that wouldn't be so necessary because there's no sacrifice needed. Again, once sacrifice has been done, the ceremony, the atonement is complete. We don't have really a need to be ceremonially clean. And then there are other, I'm trying to think of the right words here, but there are other things that's such, you know, basic language, but there are other things in Leviticus that I think we would both adhere to have not been done away with, if you will, which done away with is the wrong term, but that are not for ceremonial cleaning. That there are still pieces of Leviticus and like the law that we've been given through Moses that apply to us today. And it's understanding which is which. And so I completely agree with you. I would just want to look at Leviticus and make sure that this isn't a ceremonial thing, because God says he'll turn his face against anyone who does. And that seems more than just dirty to me, you know, or ceremonially unclean. So
could be.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that is so. I'm saying, well, here's where I'd like to explore.
Yeah, no, that's something that's worth scratching. I mean, what he could compare that to how the Old Testament talks about, for example, eating pork in the Old Testament. But yeah, a little bit of a spoiler. I don't expect to get to this part of my notes today because of timers.
Yeah.
But my provocative question for next week is, did Jesus abolish the law?
Oh, that is a provocative question.
Yeah, especially since he directly says he did not come to abolish the law. But I'll save that. Well, I'll save more thoughts for later.
I'm gonna make notes of it though, so that I can be, you know, as prepared as I can to chat with you next
for
week.
Sure. All right. So I want to offer. Well, okay. As we're talking about this, the view that I'm used to when it comes to the law of the Old Testament and the law of the New Testament is that the religious, the ceremonial, and the civil laws are subject to change. However, moral law, God cannot change, because moral law has to do with how we are created as human beings, like the order of what is good. So, for example, Christ could never say murder is now good.
Right.
However, ceremonial things he does have jurisdiction over is my fundamental position. So yeah, all right. I want to offer for this list of 4 things a pastoral lens.
All right.
I think that reading these as a pastoral utterance is the way that adds up the best for me. Put another way, I propose that this is a list of things that are contextually necessary for the Christians in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia. So how is it necessary? Just contextually. And for who? For the Christians in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia. And I choose those 3 places because those are the three places that are mentioned in the verse right before what we read. Hold on, let me start from verse 22, so I'm not just saying things.
Sounds good.
All right. Then it seemed good to the apostles and the elders with the whole church to choose men from among them and send them to Antioch with Paul and Barnabas. They sent Judas, called Barsabbas, and Silas, leading men among the brethren, with the following letter. The brethren, both the apostles and the elders, to the brethren who are of the Gentiles in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia. Greeting. Since we have heard that some persons from us have troubled you with words, unsettling your minds, although we gave them no instructions, it has seemed good to us in assembly to choose men and send them to you with our beloved Barnabas and Paul, men who have risked their lives for the sake of our Lord Jesus Christ. We have therefore sent Judas and Silas, who themselves will tell you the same things by word of mouth. For it has seemed to the, and this is the actual quote, for it has seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things, that you abstain from what has been sacrificed to idols, and from blood, and from what is strangled, and from unchastity. If you keep yourselves from these, you will do well. Farewell. Farewell always makes me think of Spock for some reason. Cats are fighting. It's okay. Leave each other alone. All right. So, my notes aren't in the order that I want to talk about things, so I'll come back to this. First, historical context. What's going on in the church right now? The early church, there was tension between the Gentiles and the Jews, and by Gentiles and Jews, I mean like Gentile converts to Christianity and Jewish converts to Christianity. Right? This is a tension that we see expressed in all sorts of different ways. And speaking of tension. All right. There you go. Problem solved. All right. So this tension exists also. These are primarily Gentiles that they're talking to here. I believe it even mentions that. Does it mention that? To the brethren who are of the Gentiles in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia, greeting. So my reading is the apostles and elders are sending directives to address these tensions. If you are a Gentile convert, please observe these things right here. Goodness, these cats today. Go. Please go. Or stay. That's fine too. Whatever you want. So sorry. All right. You mentioned Leviticus, and specifically you called out Leviticus 17:10-12. My study Bible points out a parallel between this passage and even more surrounding verses of Leviticus. So note this, Leviticus 17:8-9. And you shall say to them, any man of the house of Israel or of the strangers that sojourn among them, who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of meeting to sacrifice to the Lord, that man shall be cut off from his people. Leviticus 17:10 and let me intersperse a little bit. So that's 8-9, and two things I want to highlight here. First, it specifically is talking not only about the people in the house of Israel, but also any strangers that sojourn among them, which is interesting. So not only the Jews are expected to follow this, but also people that are visiting the Jews. And the second thing is, so this is a pretty easy parallel to the first point in that list of abstain from anything that is sacrificed to idols. They're both talking about sacrifices and burnt offerings. All right. 10-12.
Yep. Going to be our strangled boys.
If any man of the house of Israel or of the strangers that sojourn among them eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it for you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement by reason of the life. Therefore I have said to the sons of Israel, no person among you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. So again, we see sojourners, and we also see that this is the next item in the list: abstain from blood. 13 to 14.
That's our actual strangled boy. I got it backwards, but
yeah. Any man also of the sons of, you made me nervous when you said strangled there. I was like,
sorry,
just continue on. Hopefully it works out.
No, blood then strangled. I was on the
strangled.
right page and I looked down and I was like, oh no, that's 13. I'm reading the wrong thing.
You're fine. Any man also of the sons of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among them, who takes in hunting any beast or bird that may be eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. This to me feels like the most awkward parallel, because it nowhere says strangled there. It talks about pouring out blood before you eat here. So like if we consider, like, when you eat an animal, you could either spill its blood or you could not. If you don't, if we contrast, strangling would be how you kill without spilling blood, or pouring out blood would be how you kill with spilling blood.
Well, it's common practice to, like, especially with birds, to wring their neck. And so that would be how they would be strangled. You'd wring. I hate that I'm using my hands as a visual, but you'd wring the neck, and so they wouldn't bleed, and the blood would contain in them, and they'd just suffer and die. To the point that even the humane way in modern times that we're supposed to take, like our poultry, our chicken, is you turn them upside down and they cut the neck, which immediately kills them, and then their blood is drained out. Even like by 2025 humane standards.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that
I grew up around chicken houses, so that's why I know that. But
that's awesome. No, I honestly had to rest with that specific parallel a little bit. So it's great that it's more natural to you, and actually that bolsters me. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, so I see another parallel there. The chastity one is basically all of chapter 18. I've got specifically verses 6 through 23, and I'm not going to read all of it for time's sake, but I will specifically highlight verse 26, which says, "But you shall keep my statutes and my ordinance, and do none of these abominations, either the native or the stranger who sojourns among you." And specifically because I'm highlighting this theme of sojourners are specifically getting called out with all of these directives in Leviticus 17 and 18.
See, I would probably highlight like 22, maybe 23, which would be like what I would see as being specifically a problem for the Gentiles here, which is do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable. Do not have sexual relations with an animal and defile yourself with it. So I suspect that, well, let's keep talking, because this is probably going to come up in a 2025 context.
Well, if we need to go there, we can. I mean, so to clarify, I'm not highlighting that because I think it's the most important verse, but because it helps show this pattern that was shared with me. So the suggestion is that when addressing the parallels between when addressing the tensions between the Gentile converts and the Jewish converts, the apostles and the elders gave directives that mirrored these prescriptions that Jews are used to expecting of guests who live among them. So I see them as pastoral directives. Now, as we see later in Paul, these directives are not the same thing as universal laws that bind all Christians. These directives overlap with universal laws that bind all Christians, like chastity specifically. Like I'm not going to say that chastity is optional at this point. So clearly they overlap with the universal laws, but they also diverge from universal laws that bind all Christians, specifically eating food sacrificed to idols. Because of this divergence, this passage alone, I don't think will be able to tell us about whether Christians are still bound to abstain from eating blood.
But it would, I mean, it still implies something that if Jesus's true presence is there, and that the communion or the Eucharist that this body of believers would have been partaking in, well, then the apostles and the elders, I mean, they're saying, do not partake in blood. If the apostles and the elders truly believe that Jesus' blood is truly present in the Eucharist, then they are effectively here commanding or requiring that the Gentile believers do not participate in the Eucharist. And that can't be the reading, unless, because even if it's not applies to all believers, they are still preventing this group of believers from participating in the Eucharist in a true presence physical sense.
Yeah, no, I pondered that the other day, and I'm still wrestling with that. I'll be fully transparent.
That's fine.
What I would like, the conclusion that I'm landing on is that if it's true that these are pastoral directives and they're not decrees about how a Christian can is ought to live universally,
Yeah.
then I think any pastoral directives take a certain degree of I don't know, a discernment, like the application of directives uh, are rarely meant to be legalistic. Like, for example, let's say I get a bloody nose. Even as a Jew in the Old Testament, maybe I'm off here, but if I get a bloody nose and I end up consuming my own blood, because when that happens, you end up swallowing some blood, does that violate the command to not take blood? I mean,
Great
technically, I
question.
took blood, right?
Yeah.
So I think like you have to uh you have to interpret directives within the context within which they're given. So they're talking about like when you're living amongst people with Jewish sensibilities, please follow these directives that they're going to expect you to follow. As we see later, these directives aren't supposed to be universal. For example, with food that's sacrificed to idols. Later, Paul talks about how it is illicit. Um, uh, but lost my train of thought. But like there is a level of prudence when applying directives if it is truly a pastoral directive.
I can see room for that being the case. And obviously some compassion should be given there. But I feel like there are other things that connect to this that bolster my understanding that when Paul and the apostles and the elders are writing and commanding this, or requiring, the Gentile believers to not partake in blood, or to not take blood, a simple understanding here would be that they don't hold the prerequisite belief that they would be partaking in blood every time they come together in the Eucharist. Because that seems like if this is to, especially since they have been disturbed, like this group has been confused, that doesn't seem to me something that would have made this group of believers less confused. Because the whole reason they're writing here is because some people have taken authority that's really not theirs, that they weren't granted, and have confused or disturbed or troubled their minds. This
Sure.
seems to me like it would be more troubling. So I just don't know. I mean, I'll grant that there's a possibility, but I don't know if it's more possible than the idea that it's not actually blood
Well, what
in the
confusions and
Eucharist.
troublings do we see evidence of in Acts in the early church? We see confusion and trouble
Okay.
about whether you're supposed to be circumcised or not. Which
Mm-hmm.
commands from the Old Testament come over to the New Testament? What steps do Gentiles need to take in order to become part of the new covenant? That
Right.
is what there is tension and confusion about in the early church, which is part of why I think, given the context of the theater of Acts, that is the tension I expect. I mean, especially when they speak specifically to the Gentiles here. Like if they call
Mm-hmm.
out Gentiles, then I think they're talking about Gentiles versus Jews. What I don't see is any sense that the early church has confusion about what the Eucharist is.
I agree with you. Um, because I don't know that I'm convinced that this early of the church, like apostles are still alive, um, believe that it is the true presence. Because I completely agree with you
Sure.
that I
The
don't think they're
argument,
confused about that.
right? So that would hold if the spiritual presence view is true, or if the true
Mhm.
presence view is true. Like either way, that holds. So like this won't give us a clue one way or another.
I
Like
I think it holds more to the spiritual view than to the bodily view, because I do believe that this would have gave more confusion. Because if anything, you're right. I agree with you on the early confusions of Acts being, well, what carries over. But if anything, this is doubling down and saying, okay, well, that part of Leviticus that says don't eat blood, that does carry over. Don't do that. If anything,
well,
it's bolstering that, not
well,
saying.
would
Whereas
you
with circumcision, it says nope, you don't have you're circumcised under this new covenant. And we have Acts also saying, well, we can eat things that God has said are clean. Where we have like a correction verbatim, this is the opposite. This is saying just like Leviticus says, don't eat blood. This is actually a doubling down.
but it also says that about food that's sacrificed to idols. How does that work? It would
Well,
be the
that's
same doubling
interesting.
down. Yeah, how do you work
Yeah,
that?
and well, that's what I want to figure out because well, as you know, I don't personally give every book that is in the Bible the same level of credence.
Okay,
So,
sure.
which, and I mean, you know that about me. But that's what I've
I,
got to figure out because it seems to me that Paul is um, is contradicting himself. It seems to me that Paul has a problem.
you want to read 1 Corinthians 8?
Sure. Oh, I actually just had it pulled up and I dropped it because I was like, well, we're not going here, but I got it again.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read it and we'll take it from there.
All right. Starting at the beginning, I think is where it's at. Yeah. Now, about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all possess knowledge, but knowledge puffs up while love builds up. Those who think that they know something do not yet know as they ought to know, but whoever loves God is known by God. So then, about eating food sacrificed to idols, we know that an idol is nothing at all in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father, from whom all things came, and for whom we live, and there is but one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom all things came, and through whom we live. But not everyone possesses this knowledge. Some people are still so accustomed to idols that when they eat sacrificial food, they think of it as having been sacrificed to a god, and since their conscience is weak, it is defiled. But food does not bring us near to God. We are no worse if we do not eat, and no better if we do. Be careful, however, that the exercise of your rights does not become a stumbling block to the weak. For if someone with a weak conscience sees you, with all your knowledge, eating in an idol's temple, won't that person be emboldened to eat what is sacrificed to idols? So this weak brother or sister for whom Christ died is destroyed by your knowledge. When you when you sin against them in this way and wound their weak conscience, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if what I eat causes my brother or sister to fall into sin, I will never eat meat again, so that I will not cause them to fail. I'm glad we did go ahead and come here and read contextually. Uh, I'm interested though because I don't know. Let me chew on that. If you have thoughts, I'm happy to hear them. But let me chew on that. You know what? I'm not entirely sure here. NIV, CalMage. I'm not entirely sure what my thoughts are here. That's the part I'm chewing on. I read 1 Corinthians 8 as an understanding of, well, there's really only one God, so anything that you offer to anything else isn't really a sacrifice anyway. But if you believe that it really is, it's a heart issue thing. And I can grant your, at least I believe this is your position. I can grant your position that this is pastoral teaching inside of Acts as well. It's still contextually, it makes a little more sense, but it is still saying one thing and then saying something different to different groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that reason could be because these people, like these Gentiles, are of a weak conscience, but when it comes to the blood, I don't know. I think that the two can live in harmony. I can see a harmonious understanding of like a heart condition, if you will, between what you believe about the meat or food that is offered up to idols. Like if you believe it's actually anything at all. I don't see a harmonious, and if you see one, share it with me, but I don't see a harmonious understanding between the idea that we're also going to tell this group of Christians you can't eat blood, but expect there to be an understanding that they would be consuming the blood of Christ weekly.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, I think before we can unpick that, we got to unpick the idols, the food
sure.
offered to idols. Because if we're shaky on that, then I think that we're much worse equipped to talk about other things in the list. Because I think the things in the list need to be treated as, part of the same list. So the way that
Sure.
they each of those things made it into the list should be at least somewhat parallel. Um, I see this. I originally wrote this down as an aside, but just like
Okay.
further expound on when I talk about pastoral directives, I'm not saying pastoral in the sense of um, how to help the word, uh, how to help the word uh, sink into a person's heart on an individual level. Um,
Hmm.
what I mean is sometimes the pastors in the church have authority and can tell Christians what to do. That's what I mean by pastoral directive.
Okay.
And so as pastors of the church, the elders and the apostles at the beginning of Acts 15, it says around 22, um, they've composed this letter to address the tension, not like the confusion. I mean, they do grant. I will grant there is confusion among individual Christians in these
Sure.
areas, um, but I see this as addressing the tension among the body of Christ as a whole, like the people amongst themselves, and they're trying to reestablish peace among brothers that are not able to get along. And they're saying, hey, do these things to help keep the peace. It's not a question of, are you able to discern whether when you eat food that's sacrificed to an idol, are you able to discern that that idol is not to a real God because there is only one real God and that is our God? They
Hmm.
don't go into any of that. They just say, don't do it. And contextually, I believe they have that authority. A parallel. As a Catholic, I believe that my church has the authority to tell me to go to church on Sundays. As a
Right.
Catholic, I believe that my church also has the authority to change that and say you only need to go every other Sunday. They never will do that. But like as a hypothetical, they have that authority.
Right.
Or another example, like um there's an old tradition within Catholicism to make a sacrifice on Fridays to not eat meat. We maintain that tradition on Fridays during Lent. However, other Fridays throughout the year, we, at least in the United States, I'm going to get in trouble with Catholic listeners because there's a lot of people that are about to disagree. But at least the language that I hear from the bishops in the United States is such that we are encouraged and invited to make a sacrifice, which may be abstaining from meat on Fridays or maybe another sacrifice of our choosing. Um, but notice we are invited and encouraged. There is no longer an obligation at this point. There are some dioceses where the local bishop has said, in my diocese, I want the people in my diocese to continue to observe this long held tradition of abstaining from meat on Fridays. And those Catholics are held accountable to that. They are obliged to do that. Why? Because binding and loosing. Matthew 16, Matthew 18, when Peter says to when Jesus says to First Peter, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. And then he says it to all the apostles 2 chapters later. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. And then these apostles and elders are speaking with authority, telling Christians that they need to do things that we both agree are not universally applicable to all Christians. And yet, I would posit that the Christians in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia, because the elders and the apostles directly told them so, were obliged to abstain from food that is sacrificed to idols for as long as that directive was in effect. So that's how I read it.
You know, and I understand what you're saying. I really do. And I was almost at the point that I was about to say, yeah, okay, that makes complete sense. And you know, from the perspective of just understanding what you're saying logically, it does. Um, Clarify for me, since we're taking this list as a whole together, these four things. Are you positing that all of these four things were, not necessarily applicable to all Christians?
Not quite. So I mentioned before that I noticed that these directives overlap with universal laws that bind all Christians, and
Right.
specifically, I'm looking at chastity. Like we are all obliged to chastity,
Right.
but it also diverges. We are not all obliged to abstain from meat that is sacrificed to idols, from food that is sacrificed to idols. So if we have one example of something that is obliged for all Christians are obliged to follow, and another list item where not all Christians are obliged to follow, then what that tells me is that this list is not made up of things that um, that necessarily are just for all Christians to follow. That puts blood and strangled animals, which is a very similar idea. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that puts it in a nebulous limbo state where we don't know whether it's more like the food sacrificed to idols, which is a specific directive that the apostles gave to these people in Antioch, or whether it's more like unchastity, which is a universal directive that they are being reminded that they have to follow forever. I'm saying that this passage by itself won't be able to tell us which category blood falls into.
I think we're completely on the same page with that last statement that this passage by itself won't. I agree. I look at this passage as something that seems to also say, or something that lines up with a few other passages that seem to also that point me to their Christ's body and blood not being physically present in the representation, if you will, the representation of the Eucharist. Because I do see the nebulous, maybe less nebulous for the strangled animals part, but I do see the nebulous state for the blood. Not trying to win an argument or lose an argument, just trying to pick and see what Peter thinks. What are you thinking about the idea that even if it's nebulous, even if these commands, like say blood is a directive for this group of Gentiles, how do you parse through the idea that would also, it would not ban, that's not the word I want to use there, but it would prohibit, thank you, that's the word. It would prohibit them from partaking in the Eucharist if the Eucharist is Christ's blood. Where are you squaring that?
Yeah, what's fresh, like this question occurred to me also as I was walking
Mhm.
around, and maybe I could poke around more, but we're like getting so uh into the text at this point that I sometimes it's hard to find what other theologians might have said. And as a Catholic, like usually what I do is I don't try to come up with my own arguments. I just try to
Right.
understand the arguments of the Catholic Church, right? So
Right.
um but uh but what I'm defaulting to back here is the idea that directives have prudential judgment attached. Um, I don't see this as a prohibition against receiving Eucharist. I see this as a prohibition against uh, consuming meat that has blood in it for the
Okay.
Gentiles in this time. Um, I also like by that same token, I don't think that the apostles and the elders were saying, uh, if you have a bloody nose, make sure you don't swallow one drop of it. Like,
Right.
make sure it all bleeds out. Like, I don't think
Right.
that.
That seems reasonable. Though I wonder if they would partake it as you bleeding if it never leaves your body. I don't know, but that's speculation. I
Mhm.
will say that I accept where you're coming from, not as my own belief, but like I accept it with an asterisk. I'd like to hinge where we go next in this conversation, which will be, I know we're up at against our time, but which will be next week, because I really do want to dive into this conversation with you. You've already alluded to it about whether or not Jesus abolished the law,
Yeah.
because I think that's going to hinge to this. I agree with you. This doesn't say it at all. But if Jesus didn't abolish the law, if he was fully under the law, would you say, and this is me just having an understanding to be prepared for next week, if Jesus is fully under the law, would you hold that he is also held to what we read in Leviticus 17, for example?
That is 100% what I talk about next in notes. But ultimately, no, I don't.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the
Okay.
chastity stuff, sure,
Sure.
but no, I believe that Christ has authority over the law, and has the authority to change it. Um, this is one of those things where, as I was pulling on threads and exploring things, like as Catholics, we use the term new law. Reformed Protestants do not like that term very much.
Okay.
Um, and this starts to get into things like our idea of what uh, of the mechanics of soteriology, like how does Christ dying on a cross save us? We have differing views there. So like
Right.
really gets into the weeds really really fast. And I um and to compound all of that, like some of the reformed perspectives on how soteriology works, I've also heard Catholics speak in those terms when I think that technically they're misinformed and don't quite understand that they might be teaching something that is different than what the church proposes.
Yeah.
Which, it happens, like those things happen. Sometimes we get confused. But like, so I'm also like in the midst of all of this trying to grapple with and wrestle with my own understanding of what is the Catholic framework for soteriology. So I'm not prepared for all of that. But ultimately, when it comes to does Christ have authority over the law? Yes, I believe he does, and I've got
Hmm.
some um, examples next week that I think help lead uh, lend credence to the idea that Christ began changing the law while he was preaching on earth.
All right.
Um,
Well, if you're comfortable with it, let's put a semicolon right there.
let's
And
do it.
next episode we can even call does did Jesus abolish the law? Maybe that's the name of the title. I don't know. But I'm very interested in that because the next catalyst for my argument of what he is or isn't under, let's have the discussion. I think it's a great spot. And that opens
Mhm.
up some time real quick for us to look at chat. But very
Yeah,
compelling. Thank you for doing the research on that, Peter, and for
my
excuse me,
pleasure.
for like chatting with me about it. I said last week that I thought it was the best episode we've had so far, and I think we're keeping that trajectory. I really enjoyed tonight's conversation.
Yeah, I learned a lot. As I mentioned, some of these, like for me, what gets difficult in research is when I start getting into the weeds, like beyond my own understanding, which,
Yeah,
when you're talking theology, sometimes happens.
sometimes.
So like I always get nervous and stressed at that point. But this has been really, really good.
Good deal.
Yeah, let's look at chat. Let me pull
Let's
up
do
chat
it.
in a way where I can read it better.
Yep. Oh, I'm gonna throw something out because it compliments us. So I'm gonna start with it, and that's Big Mac Thompson right here at the bottom that says these podcasts are far more productive than the Catholic Protestant arguments I see on Twitter X every day. Huge props to you, gentlemen. Thank you a lot, Big Mac. I think that's both of our goals: is
Yeah,
to seek truth,
100%.
not seek victory over arguments.
I I really love seeing, I mean, like to continue to flatter ourselves.
Well,
I
I
love
won't
seeing.
stop you.
Yeah. Well, like I'm a big fan of Trent Horn. I think you like
Yes,
him pretty well too.
I do.
Um, uh, what's his name? Austin from Gospel Simplicity. Um, who are uh the Baptist guy, Gavin Ortland.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of these folks are really open. I feel like I see more times when they come together and have a discussion. Like Redeem Zoomer, I like
Mm-hmm.
him. Uh, uh, and Alex O'Connor, throw him in the mix just for
For
fun.
real. Been seeing
Yeah.
him a lot. I mean, Voice of Reason is another one that I think of that's been talking to a lot of Protestants lately.
George Janko.
Yep. Which
Lord's
George Janko is an
Giant. Oh, you
interesting
know
one
him.
because
He's great. Yeah.
he's just bringing everybody in. Janko's like, come chat with me, everybody. Let's talk. He's an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's real interesting. Yeah. I think it's important. We're all seeking what is true, what is good, what is beautiful. Let's
Yes.
dig in and do the work.
Yep. Bush Concepts, because I know he'll not let me live it down if we don't read some YouTube
Do it.
content. Says there's a couple things on here. I'm gonna get the last three. It says, Webby Pumpkin, are you Protestant or Baptist / evangelical? And Peter, do you hold to a Catholic view of predestination? And if so, which nuanced saint scholars version do you hold to? Also, Webby Pumpkin, do you hold Arminianism? I am almost fully Arminian. Yes. As far as if I'll answer this quick. Protestant, Baptist, evangelical. I don't really know what I am. I'm a truth seeker. I'm not Catholic. I'm not Orthodox. I'm mostly Baptist. That's what I've said. I disagree with at least 2 of the articles of faith at the Southern Baptist Church. So I'm figuring it out. That's the point. If you want to join me on that figuring it out journey, you're listening to the right podcast. And then you
Uh,
can respond if you want there, Peter.
yeah, I'm not researched well enough to really answer your question. I hold the Catholic views of predestination, and by that I mean that not Calvinist predestination. We were talking about this the other day in Birdo's chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Calvinists generally mean when they mean say predestination, they mean that Christ chose what God the Father chose who is going to be saved and who is not before they're created, or maybe as they're created. And if he chose you to be saved, you will be saved. And if he chose you not to be saved, you will not be saved. I do not hold to that. Catholics do not hold to that. We would call the way that we answered that theory is we broke the term into a little nuance. We say we would call that double predestination, and we don't affirm that. However, we do affirm the idea that when God created us, he created us with a destiny in mind. He predestined us for heaven. However, he predestined all of us for heaven. And the question is, do we accept that predestination or not? He allows us to choose or to not choose. As far as like more nuance than that, generally speaking, I don't get too deep in the weeds on speculation because, well, there's only so many hours in a day, and I'm not that trained. But I'm sure that there's a lot more that theologians have to say.
Yeah, very good. I'm gonna add one more thing. Keep looking for stuff that you the comments you want to read. But he had mentioned this to me before too, since it's on topic for tonight. He said he's asking if it could be living versus dead blood. Is there a difference in the Hebrew Greek word for blood in each instance?
Well, that's spoilers for what I might be. I haven't written these notes yet, but I'm thinking about writing on that 2 weeks from now. I think that there is something to be said there. One of the fascinating things, the early church was accused of 3 things primarily. It was accused of atheism, and by that the Romans were meaning you don't worship the Roman gods.
Right.
True. Incest,
You
which
got
is
us.
a weird one, but like seeing the tight knit communities, and
Mm-hmm.
they accused them of incest, and finally cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
What's really fascinating about the cannibalism argument is that there are early Christians that respond to this, and none of them respond by saying it's just a symbol. What they
Mm-hmm.
do respond is they make what almost can feel like, perhaps, equivocations, saying, listen, when you do cannibalism, you're eating some flesh that is dead. But Christ is risen and can never be dead. So when we eat Christ, he is alive. Therefore, it's not cannibalism. They make those sorts of arguments. And there is a part of me that thinks like, hey, if we're going to ask, hey, are you eating blood? Like, generally speaking, especially eating human blood, even if we conclude at the end of all of this that it's good, that it's licit to eat animal blood, that wouldn't really give us permission to willy-nilly eat human blood, right? Like that would be a form of cannibalism. And at that point, I think that I'm not going to try to outthink the early church, and I'm going to try to parallel my arguments to very much match them. So, for example, saying something along the lines of, well, Christ is alive, as opposed to if you consume a human blood, generally speaking, you're talking about dead blood, as opposed to Christ is alive and his body cannot be separated from his blood. And when we eat Christ, we do not take away from him. And some other things that I'll leave as spoilers.
Looking forward
later.
to it. All right, I'm gonna let you pick out the next ones because I've picked out the last couple.
We all agree on kingdom theology, right? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the term kingdom theology. Does that mean anything to you?
No, I'll give it a quick Google real quick and see if I can get a, I don't know, like a breakdown. Kingdom theology is a system of Christian thought emphasizing God's reign and rule, viewing the kingdom of God as both a current spiritual reality and a future tangible manifestation.
I think so. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. Like, that's like saying we all agree on soteriology. We all agree that Christ saved us by his death on the cross. So I'm wondering if like there's more that where if we go into the weeds enough, we might find some significant differences. But at least at that first pass, I imagine that we're all on the very much the same page.
Yep, at face value, I'd say so. Do you see anything in the Twitch chat? I'm starting to look at that now too.
George Janko said some. This is kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
George Janko said some strong things about the Eucharist that was pretty bad. He had a conversation with Voice of Reason, and I think he understands the Catholic position a little better. Definitely still growing. I mean, I think what this is a bit controversial. A lot of like he compared the Eucharist to dirt, and he said, my brothers and sisters in Christ, Catholics, if you are worshiping a piece of bread, you are worshiping not God, and that isn't good.
Yeah.
And to that, I agree. Like, I think that sometimes in ecumenical spirits, we try to brush this away, but there is a bit of a scandal between these two positions. Either many Christians are not worshiping God in the Eucharist, when God is truly there, or many Christians are actually worshiping a piece of bread. Perhaps, like we can talk about culpability if they're just misinformed or confused. Okay, that's another thing. But like one of these camps is in a serious space. I honestly appreciate his language more than well, I don't know, like the Connectleys after their debate with the Orthodox guy, their ultimate takeaway was, well, listen, I'm just glad you're having communion, and maybe we don't have to worry about silly things like consubstantiation.
Yeah.
No, with this one, I'm much better aligned with George Janko because he sees the importance of this issue. And maybe better pillow talk could have been advisable. Pillow talk. Bedside manners. Pillow talk is the wrong talk.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm thinking of like when a doctor delivers bad news type thing. It's like there's a certain diplomacy that where how you express yourself. But I think that it is an important issue. I don't think there is room for us to call it not an important issue.
Yeah. The only thing I'd add about George Janko that it keeps me liking the guy is that he's convinced me that he's genuine in wanting to learn, and where I see him different from like other like the Necklys and others is that I don't think George is trying to prove anything. I think he's just like, this is what I think and this is what it seems like, and talk to me. And there's no argument to be won for George. And I really appreciate that vulnerability on a very hostile internet. and that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he's
So
just frankly asking questions. Did you see
yeah.
his takeaway after all the controversy about the Eucharist is dirt clip? He said himself that he was doing all these things for the podcast and apologetics, but he forgot he started forgetting to put Christ in the middle of his work, like in his own
Mm-hmm.
prayer and things, and that was starting to go to the side. I I'm butchering his comments, but ultimately, like he took it as a point of self-reflection to say, I need to do better in terms of being more Christ-centered and uh, and more charitable. Um,
Yeah.
he didn't take back the question. I don't think he needed to. I
Yeah.
support him having the question. He, but he put a lot of self-reflection on his tone, and I appreciate that.
I agree with you.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead. You take one.
I was just gonna say Bush actually comes in and says kingdom theology, as in we are to bring earth and culture closer to heaven, as heaven is eventually coming down. Redeemed Zoomer says it best, and that's his understanding. He says,
Interesting. That makes sense to me. Like on surface level, I don't see any I
yeah,
don't see any conflict there. It's yeah, I don't see any conflict at that point.
yeah. Were you about to pick up Calmasius?
Sure. Father Mike
Okay.
Schmitz told a story about how he was grateful to be kicked out of an ecumenical space for worshiping the Eucharist. Yeah, there's
Wow.
yeah, that's interesting. Like it is a testimony to the like even though there is a lot of common ground that we have on the Eucharist, these two positions really have some hugely important differences. Um, and so, I mean, granted, like how we handle those differences once we recognize them can sometimes like fall into a lot of uncharity. And I don't support that. But I do support the idea, like when there is a fallout over something like the Eucharist, one thing that we can take as a silver lining is seeing that, well, they care. And I think it's important for us to care about things like the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm. Fully agree. Well, that's the ones that I'd like to highlight, unless you have some more. Uh,
That's good. We
yeah,
could wrap up there and
yeah.
hang out with chat a little more.
This is great.
Yeah,
Look at
this
us
is
being
nice.
basically on time. We're doing
Not
great.
bad. Yeah,
Not bad at all.
good work, chat. You did it.
Well, Peter, as always, it's a joy. Thank you for doing this with me. This could have been a friendship ruining endeavor, and I
Mm,
feel like it has been quite the opposite of that, and I really appreciate it. So,
yeah. No,
yeah,
I think it's been really good. I think
yeah.
we've been very constructive, and it's been
Hmm.
challenging. Whew.
Yeah, guys, if you enjoy it as well, please feel free to like and follow and rate our podcast 5 stars wherever it's starting to pop up. We'd appreciate that, and thank you for putting up with us and listening a day, a week behind. If you are here on the live episodes, like I said, that happens every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/webbypumpkin and /ptony. Hey, we really enjoy you being here and helping us with the tech and just raising the water level all across at all. I I don't know. I feel like I'm growing for it. So if it's not for anyone else, it's for me. But I really appreciate you guys that are on this tangled mess of a journey with us. So thank you for listening. If you are only listening back to the to the archive and you'd like to hang out with us, though, come hang out. We'd love to see you. Let us know you came from the audio podcast, because I'd like to see that comment pop up. I'd like to be like, hey, I found you on Spotify. You don't look anything like what I thought you'd look like. I want to see that.
I also want to say thank you to there are people that support us both financially. I mean,
Hmm.
um, uh, neither of us get a full-time income off of Tangled Christianity and the other streams that we do. So Webby has a second job. My wife works. I stream full-time. Um, but thank you to everyone who supports us with subscriptions, with Patreon, with merch. All those things are hugely helpful, and there's definitely a lot of work behind the scenes that we do for this. And we're growing, we're trying to get better, but hopefully we're delivering a little value. Um, if you want to, if you don't support us and want to, then head over to twitch.tv/webbypumpkin or twitch.tv/ptony. Say hello and consider, or both. Yeah, subscribe. $5 a month can make a big difference. Or Patreon, where I get a bigger cut than Twitch will let me have.
Or YouTube members, where you can also watch vertically, where I get a bigger cut than what Twitch will let me have.
Well, there you go. Sorry, Twitch. We're
We're
cutting
not
you out
supposed
of
to
the
say that.
arrangement.
That's probably
Well,
against our terms of service.
maybe, yeah. But Twitch, on my channel, the Twitch audio isn't even audible right now. Utterly unlistenable. Chat has just informed me. So I don't know if that's uh Twitch. If you want us to treat us well, you got to treat me well too. That's what I'll say.
I'm waiting for what you guys don't know. Every Friday, well, you do know this. Pete Tony, and I want this in the recording, host the only Catholic comedy game show that I'm aware of, and asterisk, it happens to also be my favorite and the best Catholic comedy game show that I've ever come into contact with. And he puts on a really great, really great presentation. It's a lot of fun, but everything you see, all the moving parts and everything, is something that Peter has coded himself. He really has put a lot of him into the project, and it really shows. And so, two things there: go check it out because it's worth seeing. Great job on that, Peter. You do a lot of awesome stuff there. Every time there's an update to his code, he calls it Game of Favorites 2.0 or 3.0, and there's a new one. And then two, futuristically speaking, Tangled Christianity 2.0 could be something that Peter codes himself for us.
Oh.
And goodbye, Twitch stream together. So who knows? If you got a little of extra time on your hands, Pete Tony.
Oh man, a whole video conference app? That's more than I will ever want to do. But flattered, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
I think there's room to do something with it. We'll chat. I have an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
could add more polish. And can I'm happy to do a little coding for a little more polish and figuring out tech problems. My channel audio not working is not something that I'm happy with. We'll have to figure that out. But cool, sweet. We'll do that offline, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
Listeners at home, God love you.
Thank you guys so much for listening. God bless and ciao. I will actually go and tell you my idea so that the listeners don't have to hear it now, but this literally just came to me and I don't want to forget. When we have co-streamed Game of Favorites, we're all on Zoom. You take every bit of the ingest, and the only thing you send back to me through Stream Together is basically everything. I don't want to put a lot of work on you, and we've talked about how that could work before, but we could do the same thing where we talk on Zoom. If there's some way for you to capture both of our cameras the same way, and I don't know the ins and outs of what you know, but if there was a Tangled Christianity Game of Favorites, if you will, same kind of idea, but it's branded for us. You could even have chat or whatever you want at the bottom and interaction. And then all I would do, if you're actually hosting it, just like you do Game of Favorites, is just pipe me the ingest the same you would do for Game of Favorites, and I'll throw that up on my screen. And then everything would be Zoom. We'd still have shared chat because Stream Together would be running in the background. We would not have to rely on Stream Together for audio whatsoever. So, and then we'll have to talk about how we'd want to record it, but that's the idea. We've kind of had a talk like that before, but this potentially puts more coding work on you, and I don't know if you'd want to do that or if you see a path. No rush on that. I just want to get your gears turning.
Yeah, I think it would mostly just be OBS shenanigans, probably not much coding. As far as like all the piping of sound and things, I've solved that before with Game of Favorites.
Yeah.
We would lose one thing that I like about Stream Together. Well, in theory, I mean, this is the problem. When we've tried using the share screen thing and Stream Together, it's temperamental, and so we just don't do that anymore. So maybe like, what is Stream Together actually doing for us at this point? Maybe not much.
Right. Well, it might actually be hindering us if it's actually making, as you said, your side of the stream world unlistenable. And I'm at 720, so what I'm recording and uploading to Spotify is a lower resolution than I could have actually be than if I were to just do this with Game of Favorites.
Right.
So yeah, if not the ability to resize us automatically so that we can share screens and to share chat, what is it doing for us?
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I like it for like when we game together. It makes a lot of sense. Like that works pretty well for like the pre-show. But I mean, I could do the same thing if we were in a Zoom call and you still had a green screen behind you. I could do the same thing.
Yeah, we're just doing a
So,
video call with Stream Together
Yep.
at this point.
Yep. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, you drive a hard bargain, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll go for it.
no rush. Just think about it. That's my only ask. Think about it because
Yeah.
you got one of those brains that does the thinking. So,
I know it's the worst. It's brain.
yeah.
A minimum viable product could be a Zoom call or a Discord call. Yeah, it's kind of weird that right now Stream Together is doing worse than if we just used a Discord call. That
Yeah.
might be a sign that we just technically use Stream Together for shared chat, and potentially if we want exactly the same video over both places, then I could pipe it over similar to how I do Game of Favorites.
Yeah. Well,
It's my least favorite Catholic comedy game show. Thanks, TC.
We'll see how long it takes, but Twitch promised us shared chat outside of Twitch together or Stream Together at some point. I want like a Discord plugin or something like that where we can just turn it on. Like I can invite you to chat, not the whole thing. Once that happens, we are invincible. Like we could do anything we want.
Yeah.
So, because I'm already combining it anyway, because there's YouTube chat, and you have that same struggle with Game of Favorites. You still have to kind of look in a different spot for YouTube chat. So I have Christian Homework YouTube playlist that I'm only of its name. Sorry, I was listening to YouTube because I thought about YouTube. So I'm still already like double dipping anyway. I just like it because everybody can chat with each other here, and most of our audience is on Twitch. So
yeah. No, I think
that's all I got.
Good argument. Maybe at a certain point, it's not helping us. It's time to move on. Cool. Satan doesn't attack folks who aren't bothering him. Aw, well.
Hey, thanks, Inzaya.
It's just spiritual warfare. Maybe.
Yeah, and as we learned from playing Halo earlier, we're getting better at war. So we got this.
Got a little confrontational about playing violent video games. Wasn't fully prepared for that. That's fine.
If only he knew that later that we were going to be talking about eating blood.
I know, right? I mean, to clarify, I think that if somebody discerns pacifism, I think pacifism is a perfectly reasonable position to take. I don't know if you can tie up other people, demand that other people be pacifists. But if you personally want to be a pacifist, at least as a Catholic, there's definitely room for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. All right.
Well, that's all I got, buddy.
Sweet. All right.
You want a Tangle raid?
Let's do a Tangled raid.
Let's do
Who's
it.
out there these days?
Oh, people.
Oh, people.
Do you want to see someone that we know already, like a friend or one of us knows and the other doesn't, or you want to go all new?
Ooh. Is Liz? Oh, is Liz playing Arkham Asylum right now? That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes, she is.
Do you want to rate Liz?
Let's
we
do
rate
it.
her a fair amount, but
I appreciate her also because whenever I fell asleep on stream the other day, she like came in and was like, "What happened?" She messaged me and was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And like checked on me. And then she told me that she reached out to you to check on me. I was like, well,
that
what
makes
a sweetheart.
more sense. I didn't know the context of why she was checking up on me, but yeah, she did. That makes more sense.
You're a good
why
person.
She's like, is he okay? Is he okay though?
You're a good person to check because outside of my actual bride in the streaming world, you are the person I talk to the most. So it's kind of wild. Yeah. We're like pen pals on the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, sweet. Thank you, chat. I'll be back in the morning for more Claire Obscure, which has been a fantastic game. Webby, I know that you're distracted, but if you want to be distracted from Kingdom Hearts, it even has a story mode version. Difficulty.
Look, let me get some. That's what I would play, and let me get somewhere a little bit further down the pipeline because praise God, I have some opening in my time finally for the first time in almost 4 years. So Yes.
Yeah,
I might
and
sit down and just chill with a game. That's beautiful.
that sounds amazing. And honestly, even though I don't like Kingdom Hearts, I think that it's working really well for your channel. So I
Yeah. Well,
support
I
that.
don't really like it playing it by myself either, but it turns out I actually am having a good time streaming it.
That's
Playing and
good.
talking to the people because a lot of people like it, and then watching them watch me struggle. That's fun. That's been
All
good.
right. Right
Yeah.
on.
Stressful if you just got to fight that Ansem for 4 hours by yourself. So
On easy mode. That's wild.
on I know that's just so stupid. Ah. I got called out for it on last stream. I was asked, "Is this easy?" I was like, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is easy. Sure is."
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, let's go see
All right.
that Liz chick.
Let's do it. Chat, get some sleep. It's important. I neglected sleep last night and it was bad. Don't be like me yesterday. Sleep. Wow, how compelling.
Very compelling. Well, I will see you over there. I've never played this game, so I'm interested to see if it's any good.
It's
So
so
I'm a watcher.
So good. All right. Until next time. God bless.
God bless and ciao. Yeah. See you, buddy.
Rapid pumpkin on the rise, streaming joy you can't disguise. Every game and every prize lights up smiles in our eyes. Playing hard and shouting loud, Webby draws a crazy crowd. With each click and every shout, every day the fun is found. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat, streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Late night streams and morning grinds keeps the laughter in our minds. Ton of fun, just feel the vibes. Every moment, pure delight. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Late night streams and morning grinds keeps the laughter in our minds. Ton of fun, just feel the vibes. Every moment, pure delight. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Pumpkin vibes so electrifying, keeps the spirits always flying. Every moment so inviting, Webby pumpkin never tiring.